started learning that towards the end I started flexing a bit. So, yeah, I
Oh
was
my-
a Rodok player.
45.
Yeah, that was the most playtime by far, and I used to play him in quick play as well, which got me some extra hatred, of course.
Okay, so we're finally gonna be underway.
Yes,
Man,
it seems
I think we did an awesome job just talking about random shit for 40 minutes.
Yes. Well, we weren't always on the Overstudent stream, but still, it's always nice to have a conversation going. That's definitely true. But it seems like we might be moving to Hanamura sometime soon here, and there we go. Game is starting right now. Good map pick maybe for 6-pack attack, because
I think, and I think point A, very often you see Orisa Rodok combo. And you know, they already showed it on Anubis, or wait, that was the other team? Or,
that was the other team indeed.
Okay.
That was the other team indeed, but still, they saw it happening, they know the strength of it, so they might just bring it back, who knows?
Oh, we have Soldier Widow. Interesting.
Yeah,
oh, and we have an Ana, I love it. I mean, this is a map for Ana, okay? You know, Hanamura is just great for Anas. You see a lot of Anas here, so I'm excited.
But look at blue team, they have two very slow and stationary supports, and look at red team. That Hammond coming in from ice and Tomahawk Robinson. Blue team has to be very careful with their supports here. Let's see what Cake and Boyard can do for each other. Because Cake might be able to heal Boyard for some things,
but that means that Voidless is gonna play a DP.
Or are they going a DPS maybe?
Or either 3 tanks with Diva. That would be interesting.
They could be. But then you might as well swap to full on Dotes. He's going for that Diva. If they're going strong pick, still not a DPS pick.
Bully people. Bully.
Yeah, I'm feeling very bad for Cake right now, because once the Diva starts matrixing the Ana, and once the Winston and the Hammond start jumping you, and the micro missiles come in, then
you're dead in like 0.5 seconds.
Yes, but do keep in mind, Devious is playing that Junkrat, which means that you can get a lot of damage in all those free tanks.
And then Tires start rolling in. And this is gonna be interesting. Let's see.
Yes, but also, like I said, if that trap lands on one of your tank, on one of the diving tanks, that's GG. See you in the next one, good tank. In the meantime, though, red team is approaching from the right side. They haven't been spotted yet. Chris now sees them. Kind of the Mercy, the Ana, a lot of on the free tanks, and only one DPS.
Coming in. Okay.
Strong pick takes down Divas. That's vital.
That's huge.
You know. Tank is out, and both bubbles offline. This is just Hammond's rolling about, and all the damage starts landing now. A lot of resources put onto Crescent just to keep him alive, but what will I do to the backline? That's the big question.
Oh, Tomahawk's trying to get Zen.
Yes. But Boyard is right there, just healing the Zam back up, no threat, and then the Ana gets bubbled, Tomahawk has to get out, he jumps out. But Foilers does take down Chris Krieg. In the meantime, Chris lands the pig on.
Okay, that's no act. So a lot of long. Oh, and Tomahawk finally defeated.
And there's no tank on the Mercy right there. Pumbani gets the res, that's very clutch, well played. Didn't expect the res to go off with all the damage in, but you never know.
Exactly,
Tomahawk
but you know what?
Going for the backline again.
Oh, but Mercy's down.
Yes.
You know what I think? I just think the red team, they might have not enough damage. Like,
yes,
sure, there's huge dive going in, but if you don't really get like initial pick with it immediately, then you're just gonna kind of struggle. You're just gonna sit there, gonna be shot at, and you can't really just burst enemies down as effectively unless you just really converge on them.
Yes,
like like you know.
Yeah, but especially true, like you said, if you don't converge onto an enemy, like if you don't all get that kill, it's going to be very rough. And in the meantime, Tomahawk's had some zoning dive, like he's been keeping the Ana and the Zen busy.
Yeah, but
they have never really been able to get a kill. And like there might be no healing on the tanks, but if you don't have any anti-tank things yourself, then like you don't even have to worry about it too much. So we'd like to see some more aggressive dive and actually confirming the kills.
Oh, Voidless sleeping up top.
Yes, but
but here's the tire.
Asper comes this here. Transcendence comes in, he's gonna keep alive. Krill with another kill on Voidless now. Voidless completely off. The Hammond gets trapped, and there comes the pin. Tomahawk down. Blue team holds for now.
But I think the red team is happy about the Transcendence. You know, the Transcendence was used, so this huge defensive ultimate is just out. But you know, but look, it's still fine because they have Shatter and Graviton.
Yes, and as you can see, there's a lot of compositional swaps from red team.
Yep.
So Ashen Bob swaps about half their hero roster, which means they have 3 ults to work with, but 3 people that have absolutely 0 ult charge. And a lot of swaps right there. They had 2 or 3 ultimates, and they all give up. They're going to commit to go.
They reset everything.
Every single player swapped a different hero, and it's only 1.5 minutes left. Fighting against the Shatter, fighting against the upcoming Graviton. It's going to be rough, and maybe once that Riptide comes in, it might.
Oh, and Piggy sleeping. There you go. You need to use that Matrix.
Yes, the bubbles come in on both Ryans. Another charge lands. But Foilus is on decent charge already. Takes down Phoebus, who was cut out, and Foilus, he's got that charge going. And now he's going on the main tanks. The bubble gets used onto Yesse, and Crest is completely isolated. But the graph comes in, and they turn it. 2 picks were already made, but there's no damage follow-up.
Yeah, there's just no damage. There's no Junkrat, no Zarya. Like, who's gonna do damage?
No Reinhardt in the game for blue team, and no Junkrat. That means the Grafton's gonna have very little follow-up. And now it's just going to be a straggle onto the point. Cake does find the DMAC up to Strong Piggy, but it's not enough.
But you know what? It's still fine. Look, it's 43 seconds left. So there's only for like 5 minutes, like, let's say. You know, that's a lot, but not a lot at the same time when you consider it's 2 CP.
And not a lot when you consider that you invested a Graviton and didn't get anything out of it. That's just a bit of a shame, really. Because it was the first attempt for Red Team on this Goats comp. And they instantly capped it and got the enemy's Graviton out of the way. That's so vital. Chris Crick gets taken down by Foilus, not what you expect. But Crested with the Nano Boost, they're finding in the damage, they're finding in sustain.
Huge Nano Boost, what a great play by Bo.
Yes, but in the meantime it's an equal fight, but the spawn advantage should be on blue team's side there. Krill takes down Voidless during the duel. The Riptide comes out, they retreat.
Oh, but the tire, the panic tire.
Yes, the panic tire from spawn, and Chris keeps swapping. That does mean though, Chris does have a new Shatter, but Red Team, they invested basically only one Shatter, and they got out the Diva Bomb, they got out the Nano Boost, or sorry, the Riptire and the Nano Boost, and then Chris swapped to new heroes. That's a lot of ults that are favorably traded to Red Team. And look at that, Strong Piggy, 88% on that Diva Bomb, with the Graviton coming up. The Sound Bear is coming up, all support ults. The only one that's nowhere near an ultimate is Tomahawk, but still, swinging into that Graviton, getting all the damage and getting the Diva Bomb, should be good.
Oh my, it's
Shatter Mind game, because Crested can't turn it with one good Earth Shatter. He's getting low,
but they
falls, and the Trance comes in late. So now all the damage from the Graviton.
I think he was on the staircase. He was out of range.
The Graviton comes in. The kills come in. The Anti-Nade lands. The Diva Bomb comes in, but it's just not enough. The Anti-Nade is not going to be followed up on. Once Sleeper gets hit, but Foilus instantly gets woken up. Boyard falls to a nice fire strike from Tomahawk. 3 minutes after. The Shatter comes in. It's a big Shatter, but there's 2 people alive. Can he turn it? One pick on the gods. The bubbles come in, and with about 3 minutes, the second point will be capped by the Rapsy.
Yeah, but you know, it's perfectly doable. It's not like it was 5 minutes like it was in Anubis. Indeed. 3 minutes is acceptable. You're like, yeah, it's fine. They can do it.
They can definitely still turn this around.
I like the switch from Chris to Ashe. I think Ashe can be very strong on this point because just Coach Gun allows you to get on every high ground that's available here. But he just couldn't, I just didn't see any picks falling through. You know, he was on that high ground just shooting down, but you know, the healing, the tankiness, it's just tough.
You need to get those picks, or you need to get the very strong ultimate. But one thing that I also noticed on blue team, the ultimates were just a tiny bit off. Krill throwing in the Graviton on point B, or point A, sorry, when there was no follow-up. It's one of the ways you would have liked to save it. And Cake comes in just a second late with Transcendence, doesn't save the Reinhardt. And after the Grav comes in, well, I must say Red Team was just a bit stronger on their ultimate economy, their ultimate management, if you will, whereas Blue Team seemed a bit sloppy in that.
Yeah, and you know, you just have to make the decision. You know, it's not like, obviously you would like to hold point A, but it's not a must. And I would rather give up point A and have a Graviton surge on point B to stabilize.
Indeed.
As just, you know, opposed to just using it in hopes that we can maybe retain point A.
Yes, because do keep in mind, it was Red Team's first try on the Goats comp there, so there wasn't really any ultimates online prior, but they might have it as soon as they cap their first point. In the meantime, though, the defense, your wishes are being granted, Scruty.
Yeah, we have a Roadhog.
Roadhog Orisa. And a lot of healing and a lot of anti-Goats.
A lot of damage.
But Anan Mercy, good anti-nade, a sleep dart, and a lot of damage amplification with a lot of spam damage. There's
but he... Holy smokes.
Overstays welcome, and Pumpani just flew out, but now gets res off. Frogpig is back, but that does mean all the pushing.
Res is unavailable now.
True, and Blue Team just pushed up in that meantime. Rush past the shield, takes some damage.
Big anti-nade,
and Tomahawk sleeping. Ooh, he gets the shield and he gets the fortify, but in the meantime, Blue Team's taken all the space, and they have got point control. Now you have to retake with an Ursa, it's not very handy. Ursa comes into contest, good stall pick, but then who's going to contest? It's Foilus who falls, and Strong Pick was contesting point, not the jungle you want.
Chris is popping off.
3 kills already. Chris gets a triple kill, and Crew gets 1 in the meantime. It seems like Blue Team will win this fight, definitely.
But you know what's the problem here? If Voidless falls, there's just nobody that can contest the Widow.
That is most definitely true. Tomahawk switches to the Winston. I think he just used his Shatter right there. And what will Nevermelt Icy? Will he go back to his Hammond pick that he's been enjoying so much recently? We'll see in just a second. I think it's just in the far spawn.
Yeah, but huge plays by Chris. Like he just mopped the
kills
floor
in that fight, and then
Yep.
got one of them as well. But by the time you have those 3 kills on your Widowmaker, that's so vital.
Yep. And you know, we know Chris. He's a very streaky shooter. Like if he's on fire,
He's on
oh
fire.
my god, yeah, then he's on fire.
That's definitely true. In the meantime, though, Voidless switches to Genji. Wants to get some high ground consistency here, but Strong Picket takes down Devious, going to the Widowmaker. The hero's swapped around now, but there's a lot of pressure up top here from both Tomahawk and from Nevermelt Ice. Hook comes in, but only lands on the shield, but they got the kill. They push one back for now. I know, I like this. I like the fact that they're kind of damaging the Goat before they get into their comfort zone. They just have the Roadhog there to just get some damage in, and Tomahawk doing some damage on the Reinhardt. Chris
Oh,
takes
there you
down
go,
Strong Picket.
opening pick, and they going in now.
But
And
can
they
it
have.
be rezzed? That's the question. Krill.
I don't think so. I think they deny in the res.
Krill's on point, but Nevermelt Ice pushing back the Ryan with the Rotogold, but very
Huge.
nice. Boyer,
So
that's an Voidless gets a triple kill, 2 dash kills, and then he finally falls, but the damage has already been done. Voidless stabilized it.
That was just on the back of Roadhog's ultimate. Like everybody got
Indeed.
just crumped into the little hallway, and
Yes.
Void just went just dashing and slashing, just finishing up the
Pressing
kills.
shift
But
and flicking that mouse around. In the meantime, though,
Huge.
Krill was on point and did manage to secure 1 tick, as you may see. So
and that's huge. That's huge. You know, you're just getting 1 tick for nothing.
basically for free, and you even get some ultimates out. But in the meantime, Voidless is going to be close to that blade, and the Nano Boost is online, so they might
Yeah, but
put
so
out
is
some
Cake.
mark to stall.
Cake is also close to Trends, so there's going to be an interesting dynamics between those two players.
But do keep in mind, there is a Winston on the red team, so that does mean they might be able to force out Transcendence, especially because Boyer cannot heal through barriers if Tomahawk plays the barriers smart enough.
Yep.
There comes the
Oh,
Nano
here's
Blade.
the blade.
Oh, the
Oh,
dash
he
it misses!
missed. Oh
He has
my
to climb
goodness.
up, and then he makes
now
a second
he's-
jump, and Preston lands the pin in the meantime. Nevermelt Ice is getting low, the Riptide comes in. Riptide finds Nevermelt Ice, it's a crucial pick from Devious right there. The Fleck comes in, the Transcendence comes in from Cake now. Ooh, Nevermelt Ice gets stressed, that means a lot of stop potential there.
Huge
Chris
move.
takes down Voidless. Big picks there. Grab comes in, Tomahawk and Pumba near in it. Krill gets a good grab from, but will it be follow-up? No!
No
one
follow-up.
dies! Ana and Mercy sustain through the entire thing, and Pumpani still has that Valkyrie in case things go bad. In the meantime, Krill's alone on point, gets Anti-Teach, no help from his team now.
Unlucky.
And-
It looked good for the blue team, but then it was just disjointed. They didn't focus the same targets.
Yes, and in the meantime, there was a good graviton with the Winston and the Mercy in it. Very crucial picks for
Yeah.
Landos in the grav, but the Mercy healing and the Ana healing the Mercy, just nothing fell, nothing died, and, well, getting a graviton without securing any kills, it just means no progress on points, sadly.
Yeah, and you know, Voidless kind of gave them a gift with that nano blade that didn't do anything,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, they didn't capitalize on it.
They
It's,
did
it's,
not-
it's unlucky. That's a nasty pick.
That's a nasty pick, good positioning right there. But one thing you need to keep in mind, Voidless has now swapped to the Tracer just to stall
Sure.
a bit more, but Gods is going to have... Oh yeah, sorry, to the Tracer. But Gods is going to have that Nano Boost almost online again. Pumbani still has a Valkyrie, and, you know, they might just give it to Tomahawk and farm the Primal Rage back, and then just looking at Blue Team, well, they only use the Graviton, but still a decent trade, I would say.
Yeah. You know, that blue team now has to be careful on the approach because Widow's in the window, just overlooking everybody.
Cake takes down Voidless,
Ooh,
crucial
huge.
pick right there. Very nicely played, and that's their opening pick. Is their Ghost Sign. Do wall hacks get used?
I think it was on top of a sleep dart.
It could very well be. But in the meantime, Blue Team
Winston.
takes high ground again in
Oh.
space, gets slept. He
And
has
now
anti, he
purple.
doesn't have an ultimate.
Yeah.
But he gets back the point. The Nanoboost comes in. On the Zarya, they want to get the grabs back. It's 3 minutes in, but they want to have an extra grab from Voidless with one
Oh,
pick on Chris
Voidless.
and gets the kill onto Cake, taking revenge. And in the meantime, Nevermelt Ice finds Boyer. They managed to turn this around. But do note here, Voidless was taking revenge here, if you ask me. Like, he got killed by Cake on the Zenyatta. Well, he's going to return the favor. Get the pulse
Yeah,
bombing,
he's
get the
gonna
CP.
have none of it. He's gonna be like, you know what? I can also brag.
Indeed,
And
he
there
just
you
gets
go.
the pulse bomb. Got 2 kills on the Widowmaker and on the Zenyatta. Very crucial turnaround there.
You know what? But you know what might be crucial if the blue team is able to just push point and then Devious sets up on the balcony kinda
Yes.
with visor. That can be huge. That can just swing the whole fight.
Yeah, because once you cannot contest the soldier on the high ground there, it will be rough. And a lot of things will depend on strong picking out, because once that soldier is set up, well, who's going to contest the soldier? Well, that will be the Widowmaker in the back with almost infinite range. One shot lands on the Devious, he heals up, and he has the tech fight already. Desmond Ice drops. Oh, the Widowmaker
huge
gets one pick. Devious playing with fire against strong picking. Strong picking just wins out the duel, both on 2 bars. It was very close. Tomahawk gets killed, trades happening from both ends. It's equal fight, but Chris Creek finds Stormpick. It's still an equal fight, but the spawn advantage is so severely in favor of Red Team. And you know what? Never Melt Ice, with that Mercy Pocket and the Ana healing and the self-heal, it's going to be hard to dislodge that Roadhog off the point. And once he finds those picks and once he gets on point, well, you can't really make progress, can you? And also, just looking at Blue Team, they have like a very good grapple. They have a lot of ultimates right now. But in the meantime, it seems like they don't really have any follow-up. They have a Visor and a Widowmaker who are just not really strong at getting that follow-up in. Yeah, we'll just see how those things pan out there. Alright, but in the meantime, a lot of team have a lot of ults online. We're going to be approaching a fight, 1 minute remaining in time, but 6 ultimates are going to be online on both teams. It's very interesting. Let's see how things pan out. The wall hacks get used on Chris Creek. Stormpick will have his. Chris Creek finds Stormpick, and the Nanoboost Reinhardt comes in. Transcendence comes in as well. Chris Creek finds 2 picks, and the Visor comes in. Foil is getting low. Pum Bunny falls into Valkyrie. She still has Valkyrie, but she can't use it. The hook comes in, but the bubble saves the soldier right there, and it's only 1 tick now. Tomahawk has to stall, finds the Widowmaker. Tomahawk, the only one on point right now. He finds the soldier and gets back on point, but he's in Discord. He's taking a lot of damage. The Nanoboost comes in on the Tomahawk. Clutch Nanoboost right there, and the Valkyrie comes in. The Graviton comes in, but finds nothing, and that means that Red Team might be able to stabilize here. They find the kills. Tomahawk with the clutch blaze on both Cake and Crescent, very crucial. Boyard on 1 HP ends up falling, and in those last seconds, it seems like it is possible indeed for Red Team to stabilize her. We'll be down on 1 cast now, but that was a crucial Nanoboost there by Gods. Very nicely played. Tomahawk kills the Widowmaker, jumps off the point slightly for just a second to kill that soldier, gets Nanoboosted, gets back into the point. The Primal Rage is sustained for so long, and with 10 seconds left, they have to touch. Hammond is close, but Chris Creek falls, so that's no one there on point. Can anyone touch still for the Blue Team? Yes, the Hammond touches. There's some progress going on point, but picks are in favor of the Red Team. It looks like the defense will hold. Devious is very low. Tomahawk takes him down. The rest comes in on there from Melt Ice. It's a lot of stalling. Foilers takes 1 down, and with a very close round, 95% of the capture point, it seems like Red Team will win, and the first map of our series will go to Show, Ashe, and Bob. A very close series, very clutch, with a very good hole at the end, and a very interesting fight with 6 ultimates online for both teams. But, as we said, Tomahawk and Gods played it very well, and they managed to capitalize on their ultimates. Focus in the meantime with the play of the game. Let's have a good look. I flanks my Widowmaker, gets the wall hacks, 1 clips the Widowmaker. Chris Creek falls, and then the Sticky. Yes, a Sticky Bomb onto the Zenyatta, and then Boyard also falls. That's 1 very good push denied. So we'll be going to the lobby in just a second, and then we can go on to our next map, which will be picked by the other party.
Hello, Argo. Hello.
You are back. Welcome back.
Yeah, good job casting. Like, I heard you all the way through, but like my internet was just kind of.
I noticed you left the game, so I thought I had to step it up. But that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
That's why we have 2 casters, I suppose.
Yeah, but you know, you did great. Because you know, again, for whatever reason, I heard pretty much everything you said, even though I had no internet connection. That's the power. That's the power of your voice.
I suppose. Well, thank you very much.
But yeah, it should be good now. I think it's all resolved.
All right. Okay. In the meantime, though, Tomahawk has decided on a map pick, and it will be Gibraltar. So, you know, they're not really just a Goats one trick team, as we know. They want to play those high ground maps. They might want to bring out the Hammond again on Never Melt Ice. We know he likes it, and Tomahawk is a solid Winston. So, see if they can maybe get some things done on dive comps. Very interesting map, I must say, Gibraltar, and a map that I have very good dear memories of, because as we all know, I was initially a Winston main as well, and just having that 1 map in the game where you could still play Winston against a Brigade and not get flamed by your team, it's a wonderful experience, trust me.
Alright, so I'm ready to be invited in.
Here you go, good sir.
Man, that's a bummer, because you know, I was really looking forward to see that last approach.
Well, you know what, I have a bit of a recording myself, so I could link it to you at some point. But in the meantime,
awesome.
It seems like we have a lobby going again. Alright, I'll keep you updated. We're traveling to Gibraltar, a very nice place, and a map full of high grounds as we
yeah, I mean, it's a Widow map, okay? If again, Chris is feeling Widow.
Yeah. And you know what? With Destiny not being on Red Team anymore, Chris might have that little bit of the upper hand there.
Like we, you know, Violet can also play some nice Widow, but you know, Destiny is a Widow main, so.
Indeed, we know how strong he is with it. In the meantime, we're still waiting for everyone to load in, and Devious seems to have some internet issues, so it seems like we'll take just a bit of an extra break there. Nothing too bad.
But you know, it was, you know, from what I've seen, at least that's gonna be, I think the 6-pack attack, they can definitely win Gibraltar, especially if Chris is now feeling the Widow.
He's taking blood. Yeah.
yeah, he just he clicked some heads. Now he's feeling good about himself. And again, there is no like definitive counter on the red team. Shoashi and Bob, there's no destiny anymore. Like he may feel invited now to play Widow. Like, okay, this is my time.
But do keep in mind, we've had Voidless square off against Chris before, and Voidless, like we said, a very clever player, will maybe not per se use the same aim as Chris does to get his kills, but if he just keeps track of Chris's positioning and manages to find him before Chris knows where Void is, then just getting the extra bit of time for yourself, it might just be enough. So it's definitely not impossible for Voidless to kill Chris. We've seen it happen sometimes in pugs, so
yeah,
we're gonna see what happens. Interesting match.
And he can also even when he's he can also just play Genji.
Indeed, I was about to say, like when you're not playing Widowmaker,
the Widow.
Yeah, Sombra is very good at that as well. Like Widowmaker can try to find all the DPS picks she wants, but how are you going to spot the invisible Sombra once every now and then? Right, we'll see. Seems like we'll get a quick PC restart on Devious' side, just to ensure there's no further issues. So we'll just wait for a bit more. In the meantime, because there's not enough players, the hero picks aren't definitive, but we see Nevermelt's Ice already on the Hammond, and that's a pick that might just persist. Pun Bunny as a support player might just not play the Widowmaker, and Strong Piggy might not play the Symmetra on this map. Although you never know, but
you never know. There's a lot of high ground. There's high ground, and if they're feeling adventurous, Symmetra can just move you in and out.
And the even funnier thing, if you're on attack, just teleport to the first bridge, bring a Mei with you while the enemy tanks off if they're holding close.
Yeah, I mean it's a cool strategy, but it's pretty wild.
Indeed, it's hit or miss. But Davies is back in the game. It seems like our lobby will be underway. No, not quite yet.
I think he's out again.
That's most unfortunate. Let's hope he gets his internet issues fixed shortly. But yeah, let's see. Voiles is on the Ashy currently. Do you think they might stick with that pick?
I think they might. I think, especially if you just pair her with Mercy, she's just very strong. I think she can one dink every 200 HP hero with a damage boost.
That, and on top of that, like just having like the coach guns, you can launch yourself away, and also like the dynamite. If any Winston or Dave wants to come at you, well, you can just shoot right back at them. You just might give them a taste of their own medicine.
Yeah,
that might work out in their favor. All right.
And but I also like the Hammond. I think Jesse's been playing him a lot as well. I mean, I saw him even today in the lobby and before the tournament started. He seems comfortable. He knows a lot of rollouts, like how to use the grappling hook and to just traverse terrain.
Yeah.
So he's definitely gonna contribute on the Hammond.
Undeniably, and like we said, Hammond's just a hero that takes quite a lot of practice, and I think as people start playing the hero more and there's more time given to players, then they'll get more tricks with Hammond done. And Yesin right now seems like one of the people that's putting a lot of hours into the hero and trying to find out a lot of interesting rollouts and interesting mechanics. So we'll see if he can put it on display here in the puck tournament. It's already done it a bit. Let's see if we can see some more. Alrighty. Okay, we got a message that Devious is restarting his PC right now, indeed. Hope he gets back in quickly.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just, Blizzard servers are just unkind for some players, and even though your internet connection is all safe and sound, you're just getting disconnected for whatever reason.
It's very unfortunate, but it does happen indeed. Well, let's just hope his internet issues get fixed. In the meantime, though, we see a very fun composition coming out from a lobby in which the game hasn't started yet. We see the Symmetra, Bastion, and Reaper on Gibraltar. That's some spicy strategies right there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious if the six-pack attack, maybe they're getting a little bit desperate and they like, hey, let's put the Bastion on the payload.
Indeed, but we'll see what happens. But, like I said, the lobby hasn't started yet, so everyone will just get back to the hero select screen as soon as the game actually starts, as soon as Davis is back, of course. So nothing's definite. I don't really expect to see two Symmetras on Gibraltar, but
no, me neither. And I'm not expecting to see Krill on Bastion.
That's also very much true. He might be a bit of a tanky hero with 350 HP in summer, but he's not really a classic tank in a team composition. On top of that, they're also on defense, so they're not just gonna ride the car with Bastion unless you're really aggressive, but I doubt it. Alright. But yeah, let's just talk about Gibraltar, because like we mentioned earlier, the map itself is pretty interesting in a sense because it has like high ground, but not just like one layer of high grounds. Especially on the second phase, There's like 3 layers of high ground, right? Like you have the high ground like just surrounding the gates and like around the spaceship. Then you have the high ground on top of the spaceship. So you have just the normal ground where the payload is at. Then you have like the first level of high ground. Then you have like the spaceship hanging above that, and that like just creates so much high ground and so much pressure if you don't have that high ground. It's a very high ground heavy map, but that's why we see a lot of mobile heroes still to this day, even when the Goats comp so infamously has taken over a lot of maps. Watchpoint Gibraltar is one of those few maps that's still very strong for mobile heroes like Winston and Diva.
Yeah, and you know, also the spaceship. A lot of times I've just seen, and I guess we've all seen, soldiers sitting on top of that spaceship and just shooting down on everybody. And it's just, sometimes it may be just so difficult to contest them because you just, you know, you pick Monkey and you pick Diva and you're investing your resources. Then he's just going to run away and you kind of just going to be stranded there. And he's just going to come back up. So you have to have like a definitive answer for a soldier up top on the spaceship, because if you don't, he's just gonna be a major pain in the booty.
Yeah, and especially when the soldier has that high ground. We all know what's gonna happen once the soldier is positioned on the high ground and he gets those headshots in. He's going to have his visor very quickly.
Yeah, and also, you know, just being on the spaceships gives you very nice sight lines. So there's not really many places you can hide from the visor. He's just gonna see everything.
Indeed, especially since Diva doesn't have as long as a matrix as she used to have back in the day. Like, you cannot just eat the entire visor anyway. You might be able to mitigate a bit, but if that matrix runs out, then your supports might get clipped. You never know. In the meantime, Diva's his issues are persisting for now, so we'll see if we can get someone in.
Seems like. Yeah, what about Vibes?
Vibes actually had to cancel today. He was supposed to play, but had to cancel, sadly.
I know, but I saw him online. I saw him in the lobby before the tourney started.
Sure, he was with he was supposedly playing for Team Ashy and Bob, so that would be. But he was actually in the voice lobby with Team 2 right now. So interesting things right there. Let's see where he's at. Okay, that's Leader Ramsey. Probably just looking at one of the matches. In the meantime, we're still sadly we still don't have anyone yet. We might have someone. Let's see if we can join in.
Alright. Well, maybe Ramsey's gonna be up for it.
Could be, but
I've Ramsey right now, but if you have someone else, could also.
No percentage. I think we can just play one with Ramsey.
There is Fracy playing arcade, but I don't know if we wanna get Fracy in.
It's a bit of an imbalance, but I think Ramsey will do well on DPS. She's a bit higher ranked than Devious would be, but then again, Ramsey is playing an off-roll, so she should kind of even things out. Yeah. And now we've actually got a lobby starter, which is really nice, so we can get into the swing of things.
And but does that mean the other match is over?
I am not entirely sure, but we'll see what's going to happen.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Already by a long time.
Yeah, okay. But yes, we'll see what happens then. Chris Creek is playing the Widowmaker, and Ramsey's actually going to be on the Zenyatta. That means that either Krill or Boyer will play DPS in this case.
And also, who will Bo play?
That is a good question. I think Bo might just go for the DPS pick, because he does have the aim for it, and well, seeing as we're 2 supports already, there wasn't really going to be a slot for another one. And then Bo. First he's playing Reinhardt here, interesting, and then Bo still has to decide on his DPS pick. He has to hurry up though, because he's on defense. In the meantime, Nevermelt Ice is playing that Brigade, and I think they might be legit about this.
Yeah, I think Big is gonna switch to Diva, and this is just GOATs.
It could be, but he might just teleport himself, like his entire team, onto the high ground. Because,
maybe.
Well, as we can see, like the map is very high ground heavy, very high ground intense, and well.
You know what? I think this is definitely something that Void came up with.
Could be, but we also know that Team 3 was quite active. It's just discussing strategy with each other. Strong Piggy still hasn't switched. I think they're going for it. They're going to teleport to the bridge. They're going to take the high ground.
They're going to bum rush them.
There it is.
There you go.
Oh, but they'll drop off the high ground.
Tomahawk.
But in the meantime, there's a Tracer in the backline. Boyert on the Tracer. Will maybe struggle against the Goats compare, but it's very low already. Chris hits a big cut out, a bit close. Chris will take something never
there you go.
That's big.
That's
very
huge.
Crucial pick there.
Without Brigade, you have to move. Yeah, you have to. Oh, but there you go. Crescent's been pushed down.
No, he contested himself.
In. Huge.
Ooh, weird plays there, but the anti-nade lands. But it was a good moment to contest for Crested as he had 2 picks, but he just charged backwards instead of against the enemy Ryan's direction, so it can be anyone's game now. A lot of space taken by red team, and Boyard does fall to red team. They have the closer spawns, and they might just, start pushing this.
Oh, the Symmetra is still on. Interesting.
Yes, interesting plays right there. Well, you know what? If you're playing against a Reinhardt and you have the Symmetra, just adds a little bit of extra pressure with those turrets. And that beam charging up is going to be risky. This Crescent right now can barely move all those turrets, but he gets nano boost.
Yeah, true. But the question is, who's gonna contest Pharah? Who's gonna contest Chris on Widow?
That is very much true indeed, because without that D.Va, you just lack a lot of flexible shielding. You have the Reinhardt and you have the Zarya bubbles, but once those expire, once your Reinhardt is shielding one direction, that opens up another angle for Bo or Chris to exploit. In the meantime, though, Strong Piggy does have that Symmetra ultimate, so he can really push up a lot of his shield and just completely deny one angle with a 5,000 HP barrier. That's some scary stuff right there. Symmetra currently shooting those orbs at Boyer, but he's aptly dodging them for now.
He's switching. Even though he has the ultimate, it's Widow time.
Yeah, he's going Widow indeed. He's thinking Widow, and Boyer...
So close.
That is very low, but he gets the healing up. Diana and doesn't start healing him. And Chris Creek takes down Strong Piggy. That means Boyer has free reign in the air now. In the meantime, though, the payload is being pushed in. Tomahawk with a good shatter. Let's 2 people, Reinhardt and Diana. Diana falls. The Discord over still on Tomahawk, and he does eventually fall. So good plays there by the Zenyatta by Crested. And the Transcendence comes out. Blue team seemingly will stabilize here. And there falls Never Melt Ice. Yes.
Yeah, they have to move back. You lose that Brigade. It's just so rough to move forward then.
Indeed, and they lost to Reinhardt. Don't forget that the Discorder was on Reinhardt for the entire way. The Tomahawk had a pretty rough time getting the follow-up, and then once Crested was standing again, and once Transcendence definitely came in, that's just so much damage and pressure on your Reinhardt. It's very hard to deal with. In the meantime, Bo did fall, so he'll be in spawn, but with a barrage. And if we look at
barrage, Cruel with the bomb. Chris is gonna have the wall hack and the shatter. But there you go. There's the armor.
There's the Graviton as well for Red Team for Voidless. And he does land. It gets eaten, I believe. And there comes... Oh, it gets landed in the back. 1 for 1. The Ramsey trades with Never Melt Ice, and the D-Bomb comes in from Krill. Won't land anything, though. Tomahawk blocks it. And Gods gets pinned by Crested. Very deep pin there. Very crucial pick. It's a very risky play, but it pays off. And now the main tank battle. Both just wailing about. And it seems like Tomahawk falls again to a headshot for here. And Krill takes down Voidless. And Company has to run, but she already used a shift, and only 1 minute remaining, and the first point still has been capped. But more importantly, the Graviton was used.
Oh, they switch in. There are switches. We have. I think they're switching to dive with Hammond.
Yes, and the Moira ult also gets negated, and they just go straight to Mercy. They want to get the damage out, they want to have the flexibility.
They have less than a minute though. They won't be able to build ultimates.
And they'll be fighting against the Shatter and possibly even
Transcendence.
That Transcendence indeed.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Red Team is getting the picks already. Strong Piggy takes down Bo, and Voidless takes down Chris, so that's no DPS online for the Blue Team to defend themselves. And then Voidless takes down Cake. He's doing it, and Ramsey dodging the Widowmaker shots for now, but she can't really peek. Now the Hammond rolls in towards Ramsey, being body blocked. Oh, poor Ramsey.
This is unfortunate, But huge play by Voidless. They didn't have any ultimates, they had nothing going for them, and they just still, just on the back of Voidless getting those huge picks. And a very nice attack though, very coordinated. They moved in.
Gets split up, yes. But one thing I like to point out as well. Yes, but one thing as well, Chris got the pick onto Boyd, and in the meantime, or Strong Pig got to pick up the Boyd, sorry, and then Voidless got to pick up the Chris, which means that the 2 of them together kill both the enemy DPS, which is so vital. Not having any DPS means you're not going to kill anything, really. And then the cleanup starts happening, and then Voidless gets the extra kill onto Cake, and then it just point over, but still a very good defense here by Blue Team, holding them to 1 minute. But Voidless continuing to wreak havoc on the back line.
Yeah.
And Crescent's cut out again, and just...
And look, the payload, this is just one huge stagger. They just moving in 1 by 1, and the payload keeps on moving.
And they put 3 people on the cart. They want to cap it right here, right now. And Krill just a second too late, and that's another stagger, and they're all close by. And they'll all stagger for an extra tiny bit. Krill's trying to fly out, Crescent's still close, but Crescent has no mobility here. Ramsey takes that Strong Piggy, very crucial. And the pin lands, and the Winston's out of the way now. Tomahawk jumps out, 1 HP on Tomahawk. Will he get killed though? He's being kept alive by God for now. No speed, he's just healing.
He does have Prime though, he just smartly waited it out.
Yes, and the spawn's closer, and he had the picks anyways, he didn't need to use it. And
Chris finally puts Piggy down.
That's crucial, because there's so many ultimates online for Tomahawk and the rest team. The pin misses. Tomahawk now rages just as you get the anti-nade. Sleep doesn't land.
But you know, look at the 6-pack attack. They have 5 ultimates. Okay, now 4.
Yes. But they take down the Mercy. Very crucial pick. Tomahawk is going a bit deep. Can he get out? He's 1 HP.
Oh, come on.
There's this chance to get him, and
yes.
eventually lands.
Bo got him. Good one.
But strong pick takes down Boyd again, but blue team should be able to stabilize her.
Yeah, you can't pull in without a Winston.
But that initial pick by Chris was very good, because red team had 5 ultimates, and even though blue team had some ultimates of themselves, just the advantage for red team was quite significant. But landing that one crucial pick is very vital here. And one thing as well, when Tomahawk was raging, he never really jumped for Chris Creek on the Widowmaker, where you set up on the high ground. Without an enemy Widowmaker,
I think Nevermelt Ice is trying to get to Widow. Yeah, there he is. He's on the high ground. He's bullying Widow.
And he gets Chris Creek down. Trades from both ends. DPS gets traded. Nano boost on Crested Tip, but there's no speed boost, and everyone just jumps away. The hammer comes in, hits on Tomahawk. The pin lands, but there's so much healing on Tomahawk. It's just too much to sustain. And Crested almost half HP right now. Gets booped. It's completely isolated from his team. And he eventually falls.
But you know, this is Crested was just on an island. His whole team was busy fighting Hammond. Like 5 people were fighting Hammond while Crested was alone in front.
Yes, and like you said, that Hammond was really zoning people out. It was placed in between the Reinhardt and the rest of his team, so there was no way to really help him out. He was really stranded on the island. In the meantime, Fire Barrage gets used, but no real kills, but Tomahawk does fall, which means that blue team will once again stabilize, and with a little over a minute, they hold it just before the end. So.
But this is the huge spawn advantage. You have to win a fight in a dominant fashion. You just have to destroy them, otherwise they're just gonna keep on coming. And if you lose... Yeah, and if you lose people, you just have a huge disadvantage, because before they can move Owen Piggy's down now, that's...
Yes. And Chris is being a bit smarter, and he jumps off the high ground and just gets some support from
nice pressure
right now. But Foyt is starting pressuring, but 2 picks ready, 3 picks is over.
Swap to McCree, huge stun.
Yes, he's not having... He's gonna deal with this flanker nonsense from Foyt, but also with the Hammond threat, because do keep in mind, when there's no Diva around, that flashbang, besides the Winston Barrier, can find a lot of things. Foyt sees the threat, and he wants to go for the Blade, maybe, if he gets really quickly.
I don't think so, 30 seconds, that's not good enough.
Look at this, a Diva Bomb, a Zenyatta ultimate, and a Nano Boost. There's so much stall potential for blue team here. And in the meantime, Chris is playing behind the shield from his Reinhardt, very safe.
Look at Bo, Bo is waiting for the supports.
Indeed, very nice reaction there. In the meantime, Chris is forced off the high ground, and some space being created. And now, as you can see, Tomahawk takes down Bo, that's very crucial for Voidless.
Yeah.
And Red Team has all the control back. Chris Creek takes down Strong Piggy again.
Yeah, he equalizes
he keeps
very
but Nevermelt Ice gets slapped, gets discorded. Transcendence comes in and the Nano Boost. Diva Bomb thrown out. Tomahawk's not there to block it yet. He blocks a bit. Everyone lives, but Krill doesn't get back in the super. Chris takes down Tomahawk.
Huge. That's huge.
Docker's still line, and the Shatter onto Gods. He's going to be having that ultimate soon, but he lives for now. He lives for now. 80%.
Huge ultimate by Pun Bunny, keeping everybody alive.
But look at this, Gods and Nevermelt Ice having those ultimates coming up, and Tomahawk with the stop potential. Voidless falls, but still, can they res Chris with another pick? That's no DPS anymore.
No DPS.
They get one res, and
Minefield's on the card.
A lot of space being created, and Boyer comes back in the back with a high noon. Tomahawk, he gets fragged before he can poop him off the map. Tomahawk wanted to poop him off the map, but blue team managed to sustain for now, and just before the end, they managed to hold. Very interesting round.
Yeah, but you know what? I think the difference maker was Bo switching to McCree. You know, I think very good realization to just switch to McCree. Like, Tracer was giving them headaches. They were like, okay, time to get McCree, time to get this stun. Voidless immediately swapped. And, you know, but you're having the stun, you're having long range damage, and then that high noon by the end, killing Tomahawk.
Definitely true. And on top of that, it's not just dealing with the Tracer, but because you're playing Winston and Hammond, you don't really have a matrix to deal with McCree.
Exactly.
So unless you get that really good bubble off on Winston, your tank is going to get stunned. And Hammond, he gets stunned, he gets discorded, gets clicked a lot, and then it's looking quite rough.
And you also have the discord, like if the person that gets stunned, if the hero that's stunned is discorded, it's just so easy to melt him down during this stun period.
Yes.
Like, you know, usually, as with Winston, as you jump in, and you're gonna get stunned, then you can't really get out because your jump is on cooldown.
Indeed, same for Hammond once he commits.
Yeah, like he can still. Yeah, that's true. But still, you know, he can get even if he gets away, he's just feeding at this point because you know he's just giving ultimate charge to the enemy team.
And to everyone of the enemy team, if 4 people start focusing the Hammond with Discord or when he's stunned in the backline, well, that's 4 people gaining ultimate charge. And you know, with some heroes, it can be very vital to have that ultimate. If Lady Ramsey farms the Transcendence just in time, that can be crucial. And Boyard on the Doomfist, showing his flexibility. He was over his Ana and Zen, but now He's moving over to the Doomfist. He's feeling it. He wants to deal with the support lineup.
He joined the dark side, okay? There's no coming back for him.
True, that's mostly true. But strong pick and finds Chris Creek, crucial pick here.
Very quick. The door's barely opened.
Yes, but now, strong pick uses grapple right, and Boyard starts dropping in, gets the punch in. Well, I like this Boyard Doofus pick. He falls here, but you know, playing against that Winston, against Hammond, they have to really commit, and you know, Boyard can maybe punish that. Boyless getting a bit low, and they start pressing the D.Va, just holding their ground, holding their high ground.
Hey, but look at Kristed. He's just slowly but surely pushing the card.
That's true, but there's no one of his team with him. Look, Tomahawk just put the bubble in there, and now Kristed has to charge up. Can he really sustain from this? Charge almost lands. Tomahawk's back with his team, but in the meantime, Strong Piggy finds a kill again. You know, it's looking a bit disjointed almost for blue team, and Boyard finally finds to become the Strong Piggy. They deal with the threat. Boyard gets onto the two tanks, but he doesn't land any of his abilities. This is looking rough for Boyard. Can he live for now?
So close. So close.
But in the meantime, Chris Creek takes down Voidless, and
Strong Piggy being pressured by Krill. Oh, nice shot.
Oh, and Chris, that was getting really clean. It's the opening for blue team. They get the Anonate on Crescent as well. He's not going to drop anytime soon. And they're slowly pushing up the payload here. They're slowly taking their space, and then, well, you know, Boyard's going to be on that high ground together with Chris, and that's going to be very hard to dislodge. Tomahawk is diving in, but as you can see, Krill's trying to peel for his backline a bit. Crescent's on payload. Pulse bomb almost lands on Chris, but he lives for now. But Tomahawk's now on Chris.
Yeah,
a lot of
nice pressure.
They get him
Pressure on the Widow.
And Nanobo's running again.
Yeah,
can they
handle him?
No, well, the bigger question is, can he get to anything? Because the red team is so marveled and has so much high ground. Like, what can Reinhardt really find here? Okay, they get a lot of kills, but Tomahawk does decide to invest the prime margin. They really want to push this. But Tomahawk is getting low. There's no follow-up really, and the trance comes in. That's interesting. Very aggressive.
I mean, they just buying time. They regroup and look, you know.
Boyard takes down Pumpy.
Oh, but Mercy's down.
Crow with the rough, pushing it down. Nevermind, Ice gets out of the way just in time. That was very close. He's on maybe 100 HP, which is very low for a Hammond. Boyard falls, and Nevermind Eyes eventually fall. Chris Creek takes the place. He's doing the work right here.
Very convincing.
Yes, in the meantime,
this last attack was really good, and I think the red team was kind of scrambled. They, you know, Tomahawk used Primal to stall, then Gods used Trance to stall, and you know, you kind of could have saved these ultimates. This fight was lost.
You could have maybe taken it on second voice, or you could have maybe just fought out the end of checkpoint 1 with like maybe 5 people even, and then it sentence. In the meantime, DPS picks on both ends. Both will make a spine that pick, but one of them is going to get rested. That will be Voidless.
Exactly. You have that Mercy.
Indeed, especially with the long range, it's very handy. Cake gets booped up, and Strong Piggy finds later on. Nevermind Ice gets pinned on his anti, but he lives for now with the mobility. But still.
But the kills are coming through. DPS cleaning up.
You know what? I like Nevermind Ice's play there, because as you can see, he was going for the backline. He got his pile driver, and while the Senyatsu and the Honor were suspended in the air, there's no movement. And Strong Piggy used that opportunity to take down Lady Ramsey, who has a Transcendence, and without a Mercy on blue team's side, that Senyatsu's going to stay there for a long while. She has to respawn.
Yeah. I like God. I like God.
Chased down.
Oh, but you know, he took Tomahawk with him.
Yeah, clutch.
I like Gods. He's already 50 on Trance. You know, he just used it a couple of seconds ago, like 30 seconds ago or something. So good job building it up again.
Indeed, but Tomahawk gets res back up, whereas Boyard's now in spawn. So, good job here. And in the meantime, Nevermind Eyes gets on the backline. They take down Krill as Baby D.Va, and then Gods finds Cake. And it looks like Red Team's gonna hold for now again.
Yeah. The blue team just needs a regroup. Like this attack was just kind of on the weak side. Just, you know, Cake and on Anna and Baby D.Va moving in. Crested, you know, just 3 of them. That's just not enough. They have to wait, move in 6, and definitely wait for the D.Va to get the mech. Because you know, just Baby D.Va is just, you know,
it's like, not really an Overwatch hero now, is it?
It's Baby D.Va.
Yes, but one thing I also want to note: blue team has a very strange combo. I don't really see it that often. Like, there's a bit of a long-range poke with Widowmaker and Zen, but then there's like tanky aggression with the Ana and the Reinhardt. But then there's not really any Zarya or any Lucian to get them around. So it seems like the team is having split ideas, if you will. It doesn't really seem like one harmonious comp. The Hammond mines drop onto Cake, and a lot of people on Cake's Jane effectively falls. The Blade comes in for Voidless. Later on,
but Krill already demacked and Cake's dead.
Demetrius Rack comes in for Boyard. Gods takes down Krill, and they are going for Pump Bunny. Boyard's not done yet. He wants to kill, and he finally gets it off to Mercy.
Yeah, but in the meantime, the blue team, the 6-pack attack, they fell apart.
And Boyard's gonna get staggered. He's in the health pack room now. Gets one punch. He gets a lot of ult charge, but how long will he stagger? He gets a kill with Voidless. That's crucial.
Oh my god.
He gets one kill. He keeps sustaining with his self shields, and will his team come back? The D.Va flies in Krill to help him. Boyard's still low, but he gets another bit of self-shielding.
He's gonna kill Tomahawk, man. What the hell?
And Krill takes down Nevermelt Ice in the meantime. It's going really well for blue team here. Boyard never got staggered, and they eventually end up getting killed.
And just how much attention he commanded. Like, everybody converged on him, and he survived and killed Voidless.
And Krill's a crucial boop onto the Hammond, just making sure that Boyard could live a bit longer. Then landing those 2 kills, one of the Zenyatta and one of the Hammond. That really opens up the fight for blue team. Boyard coming back. Cake falls, but so does Pun Bunny. No main heals on the Tiger side. Big shadow from the Nana boost there as well. Tomahawk falls, and so does Nevermelt Ice. Jesus. Strong pick with 1 pick. But in the meantime, Voidless starts contesting the card. Who's going to deal with this Genji? Those 2 tanks aren't very well suited for it. Debuff comes in. They want to zone this out, but someone has to deal with Voidless. Crow gets back in the mech. Voidless finally falls, but then the Tomahawk comes back. And so does Nevermelt Ice with the Hammond ult. Krill finds a kill on Pun Bunny, so no support really for the tanks. The Discord comes in on Nevermelt Ice.
This is restricted in.
Yes, this is the anti-tank ability of Lani. The Discord's on, the Anti-Nate's on, and in the meantime, there's no one really on point to contest. There's no healers to help the tanks out. Tomahawk is on point, the Minds is back, the Voidless is back in the fight in the meantime. Getting close to baiting. Krill's getting a kill, even though Strong Piggy once again coming up with an opening pick. It's still anyone's game, but it looks like blue team will have it.
Yeah, they cleaned it up.
I must say though, there's still stall going on, but the kills are still in favor. Yes, they finally cap it.
Yeah.
But shout out to Strong Piggy, he really kept it tight there. Whenever he came back, he instantly got a pick. And he made it very close.
That's what you need when you're in a trickle situation. That's what you need. You trickle in, you kill somebody. That's huge. That's all you can do when you just trickle 1 by 1. You can't really ask for more.
Indeed, especially when your spawn is closer than the enemy spawn. Just getting that 1 pick, trading 1 for 1 isn't too bad. If you get anything more than that, it's all fine. Nevermelt Ice now, going back to our Roadhog. We saw in Hanamura how well this Winston Roadhog,
especially with the pocket, because you know he had Mercy on him a lot of times.
And Ana.
Yeah.
Now it's with Zen, but like, maybe the Discord up can just increase the lethality of this mobility coming in from Boyard and from Krill. Voidless starts dealing with Chris, the blade comes out, Widowmaker's forced off the Hagen, but Voidless is poisoned, he's very low. But in the meantime, Strong Pig gets 2 kills on Chris and onto Cake. Shadow comes in, will it turn around? It's 1 down for the 1 team.
Oh, come on, almost.
Ooh, close. And now
we see both in the back line.
Yeah, doing work, but the hook lands, and they find Boyard. Nice hook there.
I mean, Void, maybe the blade didn't really get anybody, but it forced people away from cover, and Piggy was able to get some nice headshots.
Piggy got 2 very crucial picks there.
Yep.
It might seem like Voidless' blade wasn't as effective, but it gave all the time in the world for Strong Pig to find those 2 crucial picks on the Ana, on the Widowmaker, and then you win the fight convincingly. Red team will hold for now with half a minute to go, and as we can see, there's a lot of ultimates online on both sides. Slight advantage, I would say, to the blue team, but still, those 2 support ults, and that went tilt, they're going to stall for a long time. Nevermelt Ice is going to have the Roadhog ultimate soon. Only thing is, there's no real DPS ult online for the red team, which will be online for Boyard, that Doomfist ult. Tomahawk has been spotted out, and Krill starts taking high ground.
Hey, but truth be told, if the blue team wins 1 fight, they win the match.
That is definitely true, it's anyone's game. Tomahawk goes in deep for the backline, gets the Prime Rage on, the bomb flies in, finds Company, crucial, no Valkyrie.
Huge.
And now later Ramsey commits to Valkyrie, and Gods also. Valkyrie's on both sides, but Nevermelt Ice gets antinated during the whole hog. But they do find Tomahawk protects his team. Boyard going in, gets hooked. Nice hook from Nevermelt Ice onto Boyard.
Yeah, that's the Roadhog.
And Cake and Krista both find some kills. It's anyone's game. The Valkyrie finally comes in. Nevermelt Ice still stalling on the point. Double heals.
But it's only Roadhog.
It's only Roadhog. He falls. Now it's Pumpany while the contesting. She tries to rest, but she can't. In the meantime, Voidless with the Harmony Orb comes back. Tries to stall, but it is discorded. Recall is used, and now he's trying to stall.
But he's buying time. Look how much time he's buying.
Comes in. Ooh, Anti-Nape, and the Shattered misses. Voidless finally falls, but in the meantime, one of the tanks is back. Tomahawk's back, and Boyard falls. Tomahawk.
Oh my goodness,
it can go either way. Nevermelt Ice back on the hammer, keeps stalling. Krill with the D-bomb on the point, zoning people out. No one falls though. Chris Creek with 2 crucial picks as well. The Widowmakers are popping off. Chris Creek with 3 picks, and it looks like blue team will push this eventually. Tracer will touch again. Voidless together with Lucio. The recall's been used, and God's in trouble as well, but they're pushing together. They're keeping each other alive.
Like, look how much time he's buying. Holy smokes.
Now that both staggers fall, and Tomahawk, can he touch? No, he can't. A very close series again, and 6-pack attack wins, which means we will be going to our next King of the Hill map, the all deciding.
This is the first, the second time we have King of the Hill today.
Yes, but the question is, Scruty, what King of the Hill map do we fancy today?
Oh man, I don't know. I think we're gonna get Lijiang.
Lijiang Tower. All right, I think we can do it. We can move on to Lijiang Tower.
Nice shooting.
Yes, good prick from Chris here, because it was looking like the defending team would stabilize, but those 3 kills just turn it around. And after a very close map, they do eventually end up equalizing the series, which means it's still anyone's game. But one thing must be said. Show Ashy and Bob, they do have experience with this King of the Hill type of situation. They've been in that situation before where it's 1-1 and you need to win those games. For Blue Team, it might be a bit new.
Hey, shoutouts to Cake, very good healing, 70, almost 18k in 18 minutes. That's 1k healing per minute. That's pretty good.
That's very good, yeah, indeed. Very nice support plays. Blue Team was doing quite well. They eventually ended up clutching it out, but I think they did still play in general very well. But we'll be moving up to
I think Bo on Doomfist, he was a menace. You know, the red team was clearly struggling to contain him.
Okay, a 2-minute break will be, maybe people are going to the bathroom or something like that.
Yeah, sure thing.
We do have some time to talk about, but let's talk about Lijiang Tower for a minute, because it's a very old map, of course. Everyone's very familiar with it. But I'm wondering, in the meantime, what do you expect from both teams here?
I think the 6-pack attack, they already showed some Pharah. So if we have Gardens or Night Market, we may see a Pharah action again. And same from Show Ashy and Bob, you know, Pan Bunny is playing Mercy, so maybe Voidless is going to be inclined to take advantage of that and play some Pharah.
Yeah, he has done it before.
And you know, it's especially Gardens, very boopable map. You know, we're going to see Lucio, so Guns probably is going to play Lucio. Maybe we're going to even see Orisa, who knows? I mean...
Or maybe Nevermelt Ice will be on the Hammond again, and with that speed boost, you know who's going to be on the enemy bridge first. That will be the Hammond with a speed amp and a grapple hook. And once someone steps on that bridge, well, it's go time for Hammond.
So, you know, I think, and then you have the control center, which is a very brawly map, like very in-your-face kind of map. So you have like this nice discrepancy, because at one point you have this nice long-range maps or Pharah maps with a lot of open areas, open sky where Pharah can just rain death from above. And then you have the control center, which is just, you know, in your face, swing that hammer and just kill everybody in melee. So a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and if we look at like different teams, we know Nevermelt Ice also fans Brigitte, but we saw how menacing Boyd can be on the Doomfist. And if we're going to the control center, both of those heroes in those close quarters, they can be very risky.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends who's gonna get the picks. I mean, if Nevermelt Ice is able to stay alive with Brigitte, it's just the 6-pack attack is gonna have a very tough time doing anything. But if Bo is still on Doomfist and he gets some nice picks in those close quarters on Control Center, then, you know, Shoashi and Bob is pretty much every single time they're gonna be down at least one hero because of Doomfist's punch.
Yeah, that's definitely true, and it's very hard to deal with Doomfist, especially when he's in those close quarters, because one punch can kill most of the heroes in this game, and as you know, getting that punch or getting any of your abilities off in a close quarter environment, it will give you a lot of self-shield, and then, you know, try to kill him. It's going to be very rough.
And, you know, especially also the walls are usually very close to you on Control Center, the corridors are narrow. On the point itself, you also have walls in certain areas, so you can give the punch can be very effective on this map. So, you know, I'm curious if Bo is just gonna stick to Doomfist. I mean, it worked, right? It worked well. Why change the formula?
Yeah, one interesting thing as well, I know some of these people here, like Krill, Boyard, Tomahawk, all too well, because I often coach them for the scrims and whatnot, and they really like themselves some Lijiang Tower, and of course I really gave them all some tips and tricks specifically for this map, because they seem to enjoy it that much, and they wanted to get some strategies, so we'll see if they pop up any scrim strategies on both teams.
Oh, that's extra spicy.
Extra spicy right there. We'll see what happens. I'm very curious to see what we'll do. But let's talk about Night Market for a bit, because that's one of the maps that we haven't really highlighted as much yet.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that one?
I think it's just, I guess there are like two approaches. You can either go this brawly comp, get as fast as possible onto the point with Lucio, and just try to stay there, force the enemy team to come to you. The point itself gives you a lot, I mean, considerable cover from Pharah. But, you know, then again, you have the second approach in which you can even pick Widow and Pharah and have those two long-range heroes.
Yeah, the sidelines are long in the courtyard.
Yeah, especially with Chris, if he gets on one of the ends of the courtyard, he can just control whoever leaves spawn.
Yeah.
And if you're not careful, you can just be sent back to spawn immediately. So.
Indeed, and also one of the things, let's say that if you're playing Pharah and Widowmaker and you manage to cap the point, you know, so the enemy goats composition possibly will be sent back to spawn. It's going to be very hard for the goats comp to retake, because you're constantly fighting against all that spam damage coming in from the far end, and the Widowmaker gets a pick off, and it's just going to be very messy.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a Pharah, that means you probably have a Mercy, and that means that it's more than 150 damage direct hit from Pharah herself, plus Widow getting 120 with body shots. And this is just so much damage going your way all the time. And you know,
you have no range, you can't really address the damage threat.
Yeah, you can't contest them, and you have to leave. I mean, you have to enter the courtyard through a very kind of narrow choke point, which is very spammable, very easy to spam. It's either one choke point or the other, but both of them are kind of small. So it's easy to just spam those entrances, get instant value.
Indeed, especially with a Pharah barrage, if you're just lurking above one of those choke points and you see a couple tanks come through and you hit that Q button, just maybe get a bit of Matrix or a monkey bubble over yourself or whatnot, that barrage can be deadly at close range.
Yeah, that's just a reset for the enemy team.
One thing that must also be noted though, let's say that you are the Ghost comp and you do manage to get control over the point. If the other team is playing Pharah, they will have to flank, which means that in the time that you're flanking, there will be only 4 people on the front line, and if the Goats comp says, screw that flank, we're just gonna speak right onto your front line, then, you know, you might have wanna reconsider that decision to flank.
Yeah, exactly, and you know, it's sometimes the best way to deal with Pharah if you don't really have any direct answers, like hit scans or whatever, because you play Goats, is just ignore the Pharah for the time being, and just rush the enemy team on the ground, because it's only 4 people, and you're 6. That should be a very easy engagement, but again, if the Pharah is smart about it, she's gonna farm you. So it's this interesting dynamic of just seeing the opportunity.
Indeed, and both parties will just take a step back and take a step forward and just see what the other one does. But definitely, one of the very well-known ways to counter Pharah is just get kills quicker, 4 hit. And just start getting the damage in before the Pharah really can. Because you can have like a nice Pharah Mercy in the sky, but if all your tanks and one of your other supports is dead, then well, maybe the Pharah doesn't have as much value at that point.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's why I also like Legion Tower. I think it's just a good map to showcase different skill sets.
Yes.
Because it's so diverse. You know, we have Control Center, Guard, and the
Night Market. Yeah.
Night Market. It's just it's very diverse.
Yes. You know, I was always a bit more fond of Nepal, but that's just because I'm a main tank player, and for Nepal, for quite a long while already, you play all the 3 different main tanks and all the 3 different sub-maps. So on Sanctum you play Orisa, and then on Village you play normally Reinhardt, and then on Shrine you normally play Winston. But there's still a decent amount of variety on this Lijiang map, with 2 maps that might slightly favor Reinhardt, definitely Control Center, maybe Night Market. But once again, Garden is definitely a Winston map, 100%. Very nice. In the meantime, though, Show Ashy and Bob is ready, but 6-pack attack is still having one person getting a drink, so we'll just take a bit longer, but it shouldn't take too long now, because Show Ashy and Bob are already ready there at their PCs.
Yeah, I mean, both of the teams are cooling down a bit, because, you know, that last match went all the way down to the wire.
Yeah.
Into the overtime, and you know, everybody's pretty excited, I'm pretty sure. So you know, just this additional couple of minutes to just, you know, settle down and, you know, getting back into the swing of things.
Indeed. And don't forget the importance of this series right here, because 6-pack attack, they already lost the first series. So if they really want to maybe continue to a knockout stage, grand finals, they will have to win this. Whereas for Show Ashy and Bob, you know, they already won one series very closely with like only a 2-1. And you know, if they win this one, then they might just managed to get themselves in. It seems like both teams are ready now, and we're going to see how it's going to go. This series is going to be very important, because if 6-pack attack wins this series, then there will be a lot of teams with 1 series win after them, whereas if Show Ashy and Bob wins this, they have won both of their series with 2-1, which can quite likely secure them a place in the grand finals. 2 wins will be very convincing out of 2 matches.
Yeah, very convincing.
In the meantime, though, people are assembling their heroes. Voidless is indeed sticking to the far.
Oh, there you go.
Pun Bunny on that Mercy, yes, they're feeling it. Strong Piggy on the Genji and Gauss on the Lucio. Never Melt Ice on the Diva for now. I'm wondering if he'll stick to it.
Will Crested keep Rain?
Crested, he has been feeling comfortable on Rain. He also played on Lijiang Tower. You know, they might just go to the left side, to the white room, and just fight on point without really going to the bridge.
You can avoid this tricky bridge area in the like little courtyard by just, you know, moving the other side, and just be protected pretty much all the way through.
Strong Piggy on that Torbjorn. Does he have some massive brain plays ready? Does he see the Reinhardt coming, maybe? And will he pop the multi-core or that overload? He's sticking to it for now. In the meantime, though, But look at blue team. We see Chris Krieg on the Genji. For those who know him for a longer period of time, it was his comfort pick until around season 4. So distant memories here for me, seeing Chris play Genji. And Boyard on that Sombra, very good duo with Genji. In the meantime, though, we see the Lucio, we see the Reinhardt, we see the D.Va, and we see the Moira, which is a bit of a strange composition. But if you get on point with this comp, Chris on Doomfist.
Oh,
a lot of
they expecting goats. Interesting.
Yes, a lot of anti-tank here. But Tomahawk is on that Winston, can just dance around kind of things. Let's see how they play this out, because Cake on the Moira, they're going to be very strong once they set themselves up on point. So, you know, if the Doomfist and the Moira and the Reinhardt get up to point, they can just start wailing. And, I'm wondering if Red Team will be able to deal with it. Some taking in and out. Chris is going deep for the back line. He gets
Doomfist is already bullying people.
Yes, the flag comes in. In the meantime, Pumpani is also falling low. Both supports down. Blue team wins the first fight. Krisky finally falls. Boyer takes down Voidless,
but so does Voidless.
It's still a 1-up and Tomahawk gets hacked, but still I would say Blue team has the upper hand here. But someone should cap the point here. They're just losing free progress, free time.
Yeah, that's true.
Nevermind Ice drops and Stormbreaker finally falls, and now they're on point.
But that's something I also thought about, like when I saw Sombra. Because, Jesse Nevermelt Ice, he's playing D.Va. If you hack that D.Va, she's powerless, and that's 600 HP of ultimate charge.
And I hear like D.Va, and also to some extent Lucian around, they rely on constantly having their abilities up. And, if you get hacked as D.Va, that's quite a predicament. Whereas if you're Winston and you already jump to place your bubble, that's not too big a deal. You're still dealing damage, and your cooldown still keeps counting.
Yeah, and with D.Va, if you just hack as D.Va, it's just such a powerless feeling. Yes. And you just can tickle people with those guns.
And I would really like to see a red team swap with Sombra actually, because what we see there, a Doomfist, a Lucio, a Reinhardt, and a D.Va, all those heroes rely so heavily on their abilities, and one hack,
very hackable.
It's hack paradise, can't lie. But Stormpig is gonna have that blade, Voidless is still feeling comfortable on the far mercy. Stormpig is gonna have that blade too, but Doomfist is going in on the backline. Chris Creek there doing some work. Coalescence comes out for Cake, and they keep sustaining the point, and it's already at 50%. The D.Va comes out for Krill, and is there a shield? No, the EMP comes in! Krill launches himself off the map, but the EMP makes sure Tomahawk can't bubble himself. Pumpani gets hacked and gets dealt with quite appropriately. In the meantime, though, we see a lot of ultimates online for Red Team. So, Strong Piggy with the blade, but there's a lot of kills already. Ooh, Strong Piggy goes for Sombra, but she just teleports away. The healing comes in. I think Strong Piggy would like that ultimate back, and I think so would his teammates.
Definitely, but I'm loving what I see from Bo, he's flexing those muscles, he showed us Doomfist, he's now showing us very solid Sombra play.
Yeah, and more importantly, he's flexing his brains, has his TP on cooldown for the Genji, waits for the dash to come in, and then he teleports out. Really clever play there by Bo.
Yeah.
And as we can see now, Chris is going to have his ultimate together with Crescent, so kind of equal ultimate economies, a slight advantage for Red Team, but a lot of sustain on the blue team, and they only need 10 more seconds on this. Voidless gets hacked, and Chris sees the Voidless. Very clever interplay there between Void and Chris. And the charges from Tomahawk is on the Primal Rage. They start contesting the point, but Pumpani is in trouble again. Can anyone help her? The Shatter comes in, Nevermelt Ice goes down. The
oh my gosh.
Ooh,
there's a beat, but it was too late.
Yes, just a tiny bit late. Nevermelt Ice gets DMAC, but later up he falls on the Lucio. Nevermelt Ice gets ignored for now. Cresta with a huge pin on Tomahawk. Void is coming back from up top, but there's so much damage. And eventually, the Coalescence finds her. Nevermelt Ice still in the baby, even trying to get back into the mech. Strong Piggy finds Cake, and Chris Creek takes down Strong Piggy. Boyard finds Nevermelt Ice, and Chris takes down the Lucio Gods. And it seems like Blue Team will take this first one, 100-0.
They just don't have answers for Doomfist.
They don't have any good answers to deal with their company, and I think, it's a bit weird to see Reinhardt play on this map, especially if you're not playing Goats. But I must say, having that Doomfist and having that Moira really helps your Reinhardt and your point control out, because if you just stand on point with Reinhardt, Doomfist and Moira, good luck dislodging that. Like if you're Winston, what do you want to do against that? There's one tank, one Doomfist that you can't do anything about, and one Moira that just slips away and heals both of them up. Like what would you like to do? But we see a bit of a change now from Red Team. No more
look what's happening. Red Team's getting desperate. They're like, what? Not for this. We're just gonna
goats it out.
We're gonna sprint to the point and make you come to us.
But Blue Team is kind of ready for it, but they have to do Sombra, but they don't really have. Okay, Bo is going for the Pharah, and then the Sombra.
Sombra after all.
But no Lucio for on Lady Ramses. He's on Zenyatta, which means that it will be very hard to get your Reinhardt around. And without a Zarya in your team, this girl's on the
field. Look at this. Red Team's already on the point.
They have the Lucio speed boost. The bubble comes in, Brick walks forward a bit, and that's point control for Red Team. And as we know, this is kind of a Reinhardt favorite map, but the next one, Control Center, will be even more Reinhardt favorite. So we'll see how this plays out. Anyone's game still. Crow gets the micro missiles in. A lot of spam damage happening. Farah isn't flanking for now. Nice pit from Chris over Tomahawk. Overstays is welcome. Crow goes in, but he is very deep. The Discord order is on Strong Piggy. Strong Piggy gets DMAC. That's 2 kills already for Blue Team. Very crucial. Chris Creek landing the rockets. Chris takes down Nevermelt Ice. And in the meantime, the fire truck comes in, and it's only Voidless on point. Pumbunny jumps off the map. God also falls. Blue team once again convincingly takes the point. And
yeah, but you know, I'm very impressed by this. They were patient. They didn't just rush in blindly into the goats. They took their time. They waited for an opportunity, and when it happened, Crested nailed Tomahawk with a huge pin, and it opened everything up.
It opened everything up, and they landed this corridor, and the spam damage comes falling. And now we're in a situation like we were thinking about in the downtime. Pharah is now like spamming up top, and who's going to deal with this Pharah? Like, you're taking damage all the way to point.
They just have to ignore her speed onto the point.
Because there's no speed boost on Crested, and Crested is a bit isolated, but gets back up from his team. Crested finds Pumbunny, that's the main healing out, and that's the damage landing in. Nevermind is going deep, but the Colossus comes in from Cake on the Moira. And it presents a lot of big event from all sides. But also Red Team invites the D.Va Bomb and the rally. Huge D.Va Bomb by Stormpiggy, 3-man kill. Chris starts stabilizing, Ramsey finds 1 kill, the D.Va Bomb flies in, gets another kill on Voidless. This is still anyone's game. Ramsey on point with Krill. Stormpiggy loses the mech, and it's only God, it's 2v2, Baby D.Va and Lucio. But the Moira comes back with healing. It's only D.Va on point for Blue Team.
Oh, he has to escape.
No, he can stall for, but he loses mech. And now the Rhino's coming back, and they're still contesting. They're going strong, they're feeling it. The MP comes in, they're committing, but Tomahawk gets damage, and there's still people on point for Blue Team. They're not getting it back, and the pin lands, but Crested falls just before the pin connects, and Red Team will eventually flip the point.
Yeah, the flip, but nice attempt to stall for as long as possible.
But
oh man, but that sequence with the D.Va Bomb, holy smokes.
That was a very clutch fight, and a lot of kills coming from both teams, but Stormpiggy definitely showing off his D.Va right here. Gets the nice little kills, and does get DMA'd eventually, but no, it's okay against the Zenyatta. It happens if you don't have one of your own. But still, a lot of ultimates invested by Blue Team.
Yeah, but now again, the Red Team's entrenched on the point, and you have to be careful. You have to be. Oh my gosh!
That comes in. That's a big one. Will the pin land? The pin lands. Gets a bubble in. Gets 1 kill, and the main tank's down. It seems like Red Team will stabilize her. Tomahawk gets hacked, but it doesn't matter.
Main healer's down, so yeah, that's it. And just one graviton. Very smart.
But Pumbunny does get taken down by Chris, and Krill starts to reset, so Pumbunny will be back in time, luckily. But yeah, still by Chris.
I like the discipline, only using the graviton and nothing more. Like that's all you needed. Just grab, kill a bunch of people, and you're set. You don't need anything else.
And as you can see, we're gonna have that rally, we're gonna have the Moira ult, we're gonna have the Lucio ult, and the D.Va Bomb is coming close. And on top of that, we still have the Shatter from Tomahawk that he hasn't used in a while, so Tomahawk is lining up a Shatter. He's playing the mind game. Let's have a quick look here.
Oh, that's a combo!
Shatter. Yes, very nice. Nevermind Ice takes that Crested, and Boyer escapes just in time, gets the health back, but he's already 1 down. Will they commit? Voidless, Chris Creek commits, but he gets only 1. Voidless is in trouble, he's about half HP, and the Morels comes out. Will they push Voidless here, because he is on decently high charge, but there's no one to really follow up on the damage. And in the meantime, 75%.
Joining in?
Yes, 75%, 80% already for the Red Team.
Yeah, they need to take it.
Yeah, but that grab D.Va Bomb will be online soon, and whatever Blue Team will throw at them, they'll have a Lucio ult and the Moira ult to like counteract it, and then with those 2 tank ults, it's going to be very risky. 10 seconds remaining, and we're farming those last combos. Voidless on 90%. The D.Va Bomb gets burned out early.
Oh, this bomb can be huge.
It finds Cake. No shift online for her, and that's 1 man down with 3 seconds to go. Someone has to touch for Blue Team. 2 seconds. Someone touches. Boyer touches just in time. The MP comes out. The Transcendence comes out. Graviton comes out. It finds Gods. The D.Va Bomb by Krill. Big Shadow by Crested. Finds the mark eventually. Stormpiggy is in trouble. There's got a lot of people there, but still, the healing from Moira and the Coalescence and Brigade's gonna come in, and I think it's still anyone's game here. Blue Team has a lot of percentage.
I think the blue will flip it.
Yeah, they're doing it. They're flipping it. And on top of that, they might now have a Lucio and a rally, but the Graviton was invested, so he can't cleanly retake here as Red Team. Yeah. And now Chris is set up with his spam damage.
But you know what? I'm just looking forward to a clutch speed boost coupled with a sound barrier.
Yes.
And you just brawl it on the point.
But sound barrier has a casting animation, and Chris Freak 95% of barrage. He might just get to use it aggressively because there's only 10 seconds remaining, and I don't think that Stormpiggy is in his mech. No, we're dealing with a Baby D.Va who gets taken out. Free reign for Chris now. And the rally comes in, a lot of damage in matrices. Nice protection there. Big shadow from Crested, doesn't find anyone. Not really. Can anyone touch point? Point touch just in time. 99 to 99. The Moira ult negated by the rally and by the stun. And big shadow from Tomahawk on Crested. Can they find a kill on Crested? Yes, 2 kills on both sides. D.Va Bomb comes in for Blue Team. Will it throw people off? Voidless takes the ball. Very nice ball from Voidless, blocking both the bomb for himself and for the Rhino behind him. Pin comes in. There comes Voidless. Tomahawk gets hacked, but there's so many kills. Only D.Va up top able to contest. Krill drops with a Moira, but instantly gets DMA'd. Only the Baby D.Va on point, which means now Boyard behind the point has to stall, has to go out of invisibility. It's too late. Red Team at the last second gets the touch and clutches it out. 1-1 in the series, and we're going to our actual tiebreaker map. Let's go, boys.
That's gonna be Control Center.
Definitely a map that would seemingly favor, I would say Red Team initially, but I must say the Reinhardt gameplay and both those Keyjung maps from Blue Team has definitely impressed me. 6-pack attack is making it work, and they're dragging this out. They're not going to give up the fight.
I agree.
Okay, so let's see what we got here. Chris Creek is going on the Doomfist, and Boyard is going on the Summer. They're going for the anti-goats. They have the Discord up from Ramsey, and they still have Cake's healing. So if any supports get sped on, you can still throw out the healing with the Orb and just the general healing, and Mora can escape herself. Boyard's going for the Hanzo and the Pharah.
We have just interesting.
We're going for spam. Spam versus Goat. It's been a while since we saw this. Boyard going on a Doomfist and Chris going on a
They're switching it up.
Still pretty strong anti-tank heroes, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
So Red Team starts taking the staircase, but there's not really anyone there. They all move to the point, but they take space instantly. And without a Lucio, it's very hard for Blue Team to take that space. Point control already established, and Chris gets stunned. The pin, just a second late, gets landed.
Yep.
But Boyard, it was almost like a bait. Boyard just gets on the Reinhardt, gets all the damage, and takes the health pack. Is now dueling a Diva. Strong Piggy a bit alone, but he manages to live. Point unlocked.
Yeah, but so far, someone has to contest. Chris did contest.
Boyard gets stunned, but gets a lot of damage, and Boyard, he eventually gets killed, but they create a lot of space. Red Team with the first point control. Let's see what happens here. Strong Piggy finds Chris. Oh, Crescent, massive shadow. It's a 4-man. And the Morals comes out to sustain him. He's going to do a lot of damage. Tomahawk with a good kill.
Oh,
but
my
still,
goodness.
Blue Team's got the favor here. They're in advantage.
You know what?
Krill does lose
huge,
back, but it's okay.
huge play by Crested, just waiting them out. Voidless trying to salvage it, but can they?
They can. They get the kill on Krill. The beater comes in.
Oh, and Gons
Red
with
Team.
the sound barrier, but it's only Hot Bunny and Gons are sound barrier.
But never mind. Ice will have that ultimate soon again. Hot Bunny lives for now. Voidless falls. No nickname from Shadow from Tomahawk. The Diva Bomb comes in. The Dragons come out. Boyard falls again and kills on both ends. Red Team is getting 2 kills, and that's not enough here because with the Lucio, you're back so quickly. The Transcendence comes in and the rally. Just a bit of a stall fight. Strong Piggy sees the Hunt on the side, start isolating him. Takes a lot of attention to it, but now as you can see, Moira's back, Lucia's back. There's 5 people on point for Red Team. God's just bringing people back to spawn. Krill forced to use the Diva Bomb just to remech if they want to keep the fight going.
Yeah.
Boyard on the side dealing a lot of damage, but forced to retreat for now.
Oh,
the Shadow doesn't find anything.
Very nice.
The Morels comes out, Tomahawk has to be careful, but this Lucio really paying out for Red Team. Getting people back on point and getting it still going.
But you know, all this time, it was worth it, all the ultimates, because you know, the percentage keeps on ticking for the Red Team.
And you even win the fight, it's not even a stall. It's a very long fight that you end up winning, which is so painful if you're in control. And now the fight is won convincingly, a full team wipe. And now I'm curious to see, will Red Team hold by the initial gates? Because only 75%, you're gonna have the Graviton, you're gonna have the Diva Bomb, you're gonna have the Shatter. You have so many things to hold up close, and it's gonna be very hard to push through this. They start holding close, the battle moves to the choke point. 20 seconds left for Blue Team to touch. A lot of ultimates online for Red Team, so it looks like they would want to stack this out. No shield for Crescent. Ooh, Voidless's grab gets eaten. Very nicely played by Krill there.
Yeah, but they need to touch the point.
5 seconds to go. Tomahawk's down and one Diva's down. That's Strong Piggy. Someone touches. We have overtime, and Blue Team is looking like they're gonna flip this. They get 2.
Yeah, they're gonna flip it. Very nice picks by Chris, and Bo distracting the supports in the back line.
That maybe that more was a bit much, but one thing I really want to highlight there, Crested and Tomahawk were doing like a counter charge, so they both connected and were stunned on the ground. In the meantime, Chris Krieg was casting his Dragon Strike, which means that Tomahawk was just stuck on the ground with a dragon right above his face, and it just ate him alive.
Yeah,
and now Strong Piggy gets staggered. Will they kill the Baby Div? No, they'll leave her in the Baby Div before. Very smart play. No, Chris gets the kill. That is actually very favorable to the Red Team now.
I think he just wanted to spam the choke, and you know, Diva just happened to be there.
Was already low, because don't forget, Boyard got like a few primary shots on her. But now that means Red Team is back with a Diva suit, and they're gonna have still the Shatter, they're gonna have 2 support ult, they're gonna have to rally soon. The only one that's not quite there is Voidless, but then again, there's only one online in Blue Team.
Yeah, 5 ultimates for 6-pack attack.
Meteor Strike and forward. He gets spotted out. Big Shatter!
Big Shatter!
Very nice place, the Diva Bomb comes in. They want to win this here. Big bomb by Krill. A lot of ult invested, but Blue Team will hold. Very convincing play.
But look, this is 4 ultimates used.
That is true, and in the meantime, only Rally and Diva Bomb are used by the Red Team. So
it is, and the Graviton coming up, you know, Ramsey has strength, but you have to keep it, you have to wait it out till the Grav actually lands.
And also, but truth be told, Strong Piggy did use that Diva Bomb, so there's no instant follow-up. And no, Boyer was cut out on the flank, and now he falls again. But last time he used his ultimates to get out, he doesn't have it this time.
Yeah.
But God falls. Very crucial pick from Chris here if they want to sustain his Pins from both rounds and trading, end up doing nothing. Chris on the side, gets some damage in. A lot of healing here.
But you know, look at
Shatter lands from Tomahawk, gets 2 tanks
Oh,
rounds.
okay, and there you go.
Gets
Look at
flipped,
Voidless.
and now it's a free
this is
ultimate
gonna
for
be
Voidless.
Gravit.
The grab lands, finds only Crested, which is still pretty good, but they need to kill Crested. You need to get follow-up here. Essentially split, but Voidless and Gods get the kills. Will they win it here? It's 99 to 81%.
No DPS for 6
No
pack
DPS. And the stun comes in, the D-Vom comes in, finds nothing. Tomahawk wins the main tank duel for now, getting 1 good shatter and 1 good pin. Finds Lady Ramsey as well. Tomahawk finally's got the time to shine. Cake is on point, falls. Only a Diva remains, who's very close up, but can't get it all off quite in time. And then Krill falls on Baby Diva, no one left to touch.
Wow,
And
what a match.
once again, on King of the Hill, Ashy and Bob manages to clutch it out.
Oh, but barely, just barely, you know.
Just
but
barely. It was so incredibly close. 99 to 99, and then this one 85 to 100. Nice bomb here by Strong Picketer. Let's have a good look at this.
yeah, I mean that's what you know. This fight was over. This fight was over, and then
It
the bomb
seemed like
came
it.
in.
They just get the kill on Tomahawk, which is so crucial here. Then like when there's no sorry, Tomahawk was this. There was no main tank, and then getting that clutch D-bomb, it just means so much because then you equalize it so well. Cake with a lot of healing. Chris is getting a lot of damage in, but Never
Again,
Melt
like
Ice.
43% of team damage.
Yes.
That's a lot.
Look at Never
man.
Melt Ice, how he healed
Oh my
his
goodness.
teammates and getting kills. 73%.
73 kill, man. But that's just Jesse being Brig, you know.
Yes.
Very, very good Brigade player.
Very well executed. I think we will move on to our next match quite shortly. I would like to know the result from the other match, but we got this one done now.
2-0.
2-0 for whom?
Wait, let me check. Suzu's team already
Team
traced.
Oh,
So Team 4 has won both of their matches 2-0. That's quite incredible, I must say. They did it very well then.
so that means there's Show Ashi and Bob are 2 wins, and also 2 wins for the Suzu's team that
True.
we already tracer, which means that they got whatever happens in the next round, they're gonna get into the final.
Basically, yeah, they will play against each other if I'm not mistaken, but what must be said, Show Ashy and Bob has got a map differential of 2, whereas Suzu's team, we're already traced, has got a map differential of 4.
Yeah,
Pretty intense.
just they didn't lose a single map yet.
Yes. And that does mean that... just update this one.
I think it's now gonna be 6-pack attack versus Fumes team 1.
I think so, yes. So we've updated the current standings so everyone can see them. Currently, Show Ashy and Bob and what's it called? We're already Tracer are in the lead. Both teams have won their 2 respective series. 4's map differential 0 for We're Already Tracer, and a 2 map differential for Show Ashy and Bob. In the meantime, 2 teams at the bottom. There will be 6-pack attack, who's gotten 1 map win here at least, so that's good. So they sadly have no series win, but they still have, that 1 map win, 1 and 4 in map.
Yeah, and they battle very closely.
Yeah, and the same thing goes for a team we've previously seen when they went 2-1 against Show, Bob, and Ashy. So, Show, Bob, and Ashy, they're dominant on the leaderboards, but they also give like a little something to the other teams there.
That is true.
Seems like we will have some minor roster swaps again when people come back from their duties. But I think it's time that we move on to our next map.
Let's do it.
Let me quickly check my schedule. That will be 6-pack attack versus Team 1, as we like to call them, because they were very creative with team names. So that will be Fume versus Chris Creek. So the blue side, can stay in this lobby for now. Seems we might have to swap for map picks, but they can stay in the lobby for now. But I think we're going to try to get onto our next map.
I mean, this is effectively what is going to be a final for the 3rd place.
Yes, but I think we still continue on playing the 3rd place because it does determine who will get the first map pick in that finals, which is very important. But yeah,
and also the team will feel each other out. They're going to play each other for the first time.
Yeah, they're just going to get used to each other again, which is always nice.
Yeah.
All right, let me just quickly see if the teams are ready. I'll just message both respective team captains and see if they're good to go. That will be at Hume and Boyert. Okay, so Fume is ready, so it seems like, Chris Krieg's team, Six-Pack Attacker, changing to the Shanghai Dragons. And it seems like we can indeed invite Team 1, the wonderful team name, to our lobby now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, Plosky might be AFK, but I think we can get most of the people ready. Six-Pack Attacker is saying they're ready, so we can get this thing started soon again. Yes.
Oh man, but I gotta say that these King of the Hill map, very close, very intense.
It was so intense.
It could have gone either way. It was just a matter of simple, small plays that made the difference.
Yes, sadly we won't have another player interview because we really need to get to our next map because
yeah,
we're
let's
a bit short on time. But let's invite Fume to the lobby in the meantime. Oh, can't invite Fume. That's awkward.
In the meantime, yes, started playing Overwatch.
Yeah, he will join Team Free again.
Oh, that's cool. So he's gonna be there for the finals. And right, they still have a 1 round to play.
Indeed, and he will probably be playing that, it seems. And it seems like Voidless will be able to take over a DPS spot if it's really needed. So we have some backup in case things go bad.
Yeah, very nice.
In the meantime...
Destiny says he can't play, so we don't have backup.
Okay, then Voidless is our backup for now. So yeah, we'll be looking for Team 1 to join our lobby. Let's see. Guys, a small question of practicality. Can you invite Fume? Or not?
I'm gonna try.
Because I can't, whenever I try to, it says join me.
Can you or I'll message him that he needs to restart his game.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, okay, let's talk about those two teams for a bit, because we've seen a fair amount from Six-Pack Attack, and we've seen only a tiny bit from Team 1. As you may remember, we watched a tiny bit when we were casting them earlier.
Busan, yeah.
On Busan instead. Exactly, yeah. Back then, Fume was dueling out against Destiny, and Destiny had a slight upper hand, it seems, but there's a different DPS lineup, different game.
Yep.
So, what are you expecting?
I mean, I remember from that Busan game, I was very impressed with Skullduggery and his, just in general, Ana play, huge nades, huge sleeps. And I think I'm expecting him to keep on playing Ana. Mm-hmm. And it, a good Ana that lands her abilities, it's just a nightmare to deal with. So I'm looking forward to see how he adapts to Six-Pack Attack, but I'm also looking forward to the main tank from Team 1. Because he was giving Tomahawk some, a run for his money.
Definitely
and he was aggressive, making very smart plays as a main tank player. So I'm also looking forward to see how this combo, because obviously, your main tank is gonna go main tank is gonna go as far as your main support is gonna carry that tank. Because if you don't get the healing, you can't really move forward. So I'm looking forward to see the synergy between Skullduggery and the tank from Team 1, because that's gonna determine whether or not they can actually seize the initiative.
Yes. For anyone that's watching from either the Netherlands or from Belgium, Dieter might be a fairly known figure to us, oftentimes active at the local LAN parties and at local pugs and whatnot. So definitely a familiar face for some of us, but not for everyone, of course. And it's nice that he can put his skills on display here at a bigger audience, if you will, international. But yes. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and on the other side, and obviously, there's Fume, who's the star of the team, and he's definitely going to try to assert his dominance on Chris. But Chris kind of warmed up. And we always say that when Chris has his mojo going, he's really difficult to deal with.
That's a common trait for quite a few players. Once they're in the zone, if you will, they're hard to get out of the zone. Once they're feeling it, they start popping off, really. Alright, seems like Boyart's also back with his team again. That leaves us with only Team 1. Can we invite him? And Fume is also ready right now, so we should be ready to invite people shortly, unless there's more technical issues, which we had earlier.
And still, a small technicality is, Six-Pack Attack are just freshly off their game. They still kind of hot, right?
Yeah.
And whereas Team 1 had a long break, so maybe they got a little bit just cooled off. They may be a little less rustier. And, who knows? Maybe the momentum is going to be on the Six-Pack Attack team simply because they just, they still hot from the previous game.
Mm-hmm. Fume, the team captain for Team 1, has indeed joined the lobby, which is a good sign. Yeah, one of the things that will be very interesting, of course, are the map picks, because if I'm not mistaken, Team 1 gets the first map pick, yes. So.
Okay, so it's gonna be 2CP, right?
Yes, we start off with 2CP.
And I think just Team 1, Team 1 has a very solid support duo as well. Plasky and Skullduggery. Plasky is just very solid on supports, and so is Skull. But then again, you have the same situation here with Bo being, not only obviously he flexed the last couple of rounds, but he's obviously playing a mean support, which we already seen. And Cake also had some nice plays. Like maybe she gets picked off a bit too often. But other than that, she's been doing fine and, giving her team a nice boost with that, Moira or... okay, we have...
Even she got a few picks on Voidless. When Cake was playing Zenyatta, she got Voidless a couple of times.
Yeah, when he was Tracer or even Genji, so yeah.
Interesting fact here, the two teams that we have now have sadly both lost their series, but they both scored like some map points, so it was pretty close. But we see 11 Shanghai Dragons icons right here. Well, one thing's for certain, one team is going to go home with a victory tonight, so there will not be, at least one team will not be in a scenario where they lose everything. But
I
they always get a chance to improve themselves.
Will we actually go to Horizon?
It might be, I would love to see it. People hate me for this, among many other things, but Horizon's actually my favorite map in the game, but we're going to Hanamura. Fume was decided. We're going back to Hanamura, familiar for mappers, and Fume also gets loose on the Shanghai Dragon icon. Well, this is Shanghai Dragons versus an Academy team, maybe? It's gonna be interesting.
Let's see who's getting signed.
Yes. And as you can see, Boyard also making the same comment. We are breaking Shanghai Dragon loss streak, boys. Well, at least one of us is. That is most definitely true. Okay, we're gonna go to our assembly lineup here. Jet is back now. He was a bit later, but he's playing the Tracer now. Skullduggery is on the Widowmaker. Interesting lineup here. Will they swap things?
I think they'll swap.
Triple
for
DPS.
DPS, what is my solo queue experience? Come on.
Hello? Did I queue into solo queue? Hello? I thought I was watching a stream, but my bad. In the meantime, though, Dust Leo taking up the Reinhardt, taking up the hammer, and Plasky's going to help him out with the Ana.
Oh, interesting. Will Devious actually play Moira?
Okay, we need a small pause, seeing as Cake is not back yet. In the meantime, though, we see some interesting things. Devious is playing the Moira, and Boyard is playing the Mei. I'm wondering whether they will stick to their guns.
Oh man, I would love to see Mei on this map.
I would love to as well. In the meantime, though, I'm curious what Plasky will do, because we know Plasky fairly well. He's definitely known for support plays like Ana, Zenyatta, Lucio, but he also played a lot of Reinhardt back.
That's true.
Today,
he played a crazy mean Reinhardt. He's just gonna get in here.
And Zarya.
Okay, I didn't really see him on Zarya much, but I trust your...
Yeah, we're talking Season 2 and Season 3. I've known him for far too long, and I think he will say the same that he's known me for far too long by now.
But, he also branched out, played some Sombra, and, found some success playing Sombra, so, and this is also, 2CP is always a good map for Sombra, so who knows?
Indeed. A lot of health packs near point defense, and on top of that, if you really need to capture that second point on attack, getting a good EMP combo can get you a long way to that.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so Fume is on his Widowmaker. Very comfortable pick for him, and he's very strong on it. In the meantime, though, there's Dust Leo, who is on the Reinhardt with 4 DPS surrounding him. I think he would like to see some change now.
And, we also have Chris on Widow, so we're gonna have a little bit of battle.
They're asking for a pause again. Who isn't back by now, I'm wondering. So, let's... Oh, Plasky got some issues, okay.
Okay.
Alright, so we see that Plasky might have some technical issues, but let's hope he comes back quickly. In the meantime, though, I'm still curious to see things. Boyard is committing to the Mei. He's defending point 1 with Mei, so we'll see how to do some things, of course. In the meantime, Cressida on the Reinhardt and Curl on the Zarya. I think, Cressida's really been feeling the Reinhardt today. He's played it on most of the maps.
Yeah, I think he played Reign exclusively. I didn't think he played anything else.
Could very well be true, but we have to check files.
Oh no, he did play Orisa.
Yes, that's true, yeah. In the meantime, though, Krill is now picking up the Zarya, which I think will be very helpful to Cressida, because he's playing a good Reinhardt, but if you're playing Reinhardt without a Zarya, it can be pretty rough, especially if you're up against the Goats comp. And, maybe just adding the Zarya just adds you like that little bit of protection, that one bubble against that one stun or that one pin, it can help you a long way.
That's true, and I think they also know that Zenus is a Doomfist player. And again, that bubble against Doomfist can save lives. And I think they realize this, so that's why Krill's on Zarya.
That's quite true. In the meantime, though, Chris is taking up the duel against Fume, the Widowmaker, Fume Widowmaker. Devious swapping over to the support now, so Bowyer can play a bit of May. That's an interesting swap there. In the meantime, we're still waiting for Plusky to get back, but Skullduggery is picking up the Zenyatta, so I'm wondering what the second support will be. Because
I think Plusky plays a lot of Ana as well, so
I think so,
maybe they just change it
two very slow supports. It's going to leave you with two very slow supports, and
that's true.
If your tank line walks in slowly, and the May can just ice wall whoever she wants, because there's no real speed boost online, it's going to be pretty rough. So it's really going to be up to those DPS, Zenith or Jet, or maybe even Fume to get like some ultimate angles and use their mobility against the May. But yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting because there's some decent peeling on blue team side on 6-pack attack.
Yes.
So if there's something wrong with Cake, Devious can always throw a Moira or throw some healing and shift away from things. Whereas, we might not really have the same luxury on the red side.
That's true. Like once your support's in trouble, it's over.
Indeed, that's very much true.
But you know what? I gotta say that I like Chris just never kind of backs down from a challenge. Like anytime he has to play against Destiny or now against Fume, it's not like he's gonna try to dodge playing Widow. He's just gonna go headlong into this challenge and just try his best. And many times we've seen him actually emerge victorious in those Widow fights. So I like the confidence.
I like it as well.
Definitely props in the confidence on Chris.
Definitely true. And on top of that, we know that Chris is mechanically gifted. And Plusky in the meantime is back. So it looks like we'll get our series going quite quickly again. But yes, Chris indeed mechanically gifted, but I think it can be very handy for him to play against maybe like some higher SR Widowmakers like Fume or like Destiny and just see what type of things they do differently. Do they take different angles? Do they have different habits? And just try to learn off of that.
Yeah, exactly. Then implement it in your game and
Indeed. In the meantime, Bowyer just sneakily snooping about. But he's going back to his team. Okay. Chris is going to send for Fire Strike, and we do indeed see Jet on the Zarya instead of Roadhog. Okay. But still,
okay, so there we go. Plusky's on Ana and Skull on Zen.
Indeed. A lot of support utility, but no speed boost.
I think they're just gonna count on the picking. Like, the Fume's gonna get a pick and Zenon's gonna get a pick. Yeah.
Like, especially, let's say you put the Discord over on one of the tanks and Doom starts hitting one of the tanks. It's extra damage that you just put onto them and you get so many shields. And
Bo's just waiting. Look at Bo. Bo's just waiting.
But I'm wondering, like, we're past the 15-second mark. Red team can see it now, and now they've actually spotted them out, but they could also press tab. Zen is going in, used 2 abilities already. Just going to point, just creating some pressure there.
And now there's a wall.
Yeah, but it's a bit on the edge. And Jet is body blocking. Very nicely timed with the bubble there, but he needs to put his shield up, does Leo. Picks on both ends, Chris falls, but Chris Creek gets 2 kills.
There you go, that's what we were talking about. Like, Chris is gonna point. And there you go. 2 picks, 3 picks by Chris.
Oh, very nice. And Krill fights 2 as well. Good follow-up there. Very nice synergy. But
I think the thing with the comp from Team 1 is if your DPS are down, there's kind of nothing you can do.
That's pretty much true. There's you can only hope for a Zen right click, but there's nothing to help your tanks if your DPS aren't doing it. And Chris is finding those picks consistently.
That's a mean stagger.
Yes, and if you're relying on your DPS that much, and the enemy DPS just pop off that hard, it's going to be very hard to find your value. In the meantime, though, we're going to have support ults online relatively soon for the red team, before blue team will have them. So maybe you'll be able to send your Doombus in with a nano boost. Maybe you'll get your Transcendence and push aggressively, even if your rank gets frozen. There is some potential here. Zen is going in on the Doombus. Let's see what he does. Going for the backline.
He's just taking position.
Getting ready for setup. But in the meantime, Chris is already separated. The nano boost comes in on Dust Leo, but he's frozen already again. He really needs a Sorry Bubble to help him out. But Fume finds Chris Creek. The DPS pick finally working, and Zenith takes down Cake. There's the DPS duo doing the work for the team.
Oh, and there you go. Bow force trance. That's a huge play.
That's very good. And big shatter by Chris. That's a 3-man shatter. But there's so much the same going on. Zenith falls. It's 1 DPS down. Nice block on the sleep dart. And Skullduggery takes down Crested though. This is still red team's game. The mail comes out. It's a lot of things on the backline, but in the meantime, on point, Skullduggery and Dustly are making havoc. Bowyer comes back on point. Gets 2 picks.
There's a stall time.
Yeah, but the Bowyer,
nice wall.
He gets but he doesn't really manage to separate himself from the team, so damages will fall in. But good news is they did force out the Transcendence, they did force out the Nano Boost.
Yeah, and Cake is gonna have Air Trance, Krill's gonna have Graviton, so you're set. They're not gonna snowball you, or at least they shouldn't, because you have the tools to prevent that.
Indeed, and as we can see, because Boyer doesn't have his Mei ultimate now, if he just holds left click into Krill's Graviton, he's going to farm his Mei ulti very quickly.
Yeah, that's
Once
true.
frozen together, there's no shielding power that can save you from anything. And Zenith also becoming close to that Doomfist ultimate. And does Leo, with the Reinhardt, can maybe get a good shatter? Picks on both. First pick finds Fume, that's a very good opening right there.
I don't think they can push in now. Just, you know,
No, definitely not.
that's ready. And that's huge. That's shaving off like 20 seconds.
Indeed. But I'm wondering how Red Team will do this, because they don't have a Lucio, so they can't tax people effectively. And they're relying so heavily on our DPS that they really need both DPS to get at least 2 picks before they can really push it.
Oh, that was
The wall
huge!
comes in, Zenith baited in, and he gets frozen. The Mei bubble, Mei gets bubble, and Krill
And
finds
this
another
is, look
pick.
at this, just as Fume is rejoining the team, Zenith
Yes.
is sent to spawn, and Chris winning the battle again against Fume.
He's stepping up, and Skulldugger gets a lot of kills, but
getting
they're committing,
huge
they're
shatter.
committing to this. Can they maybe get a tick? But the spawn is very close, and Boyd will come back soon. Sorry, gets the bubble off. Transcendence comes in. Will Krill use the Graviton here? He should use it soon.
Kate's gonna
back.
keep everyone up.
Yes.
Here's the
Graviton.
guy.
That's 1 down,
dead.
2 down.
Oh
Yes,
man,
they will
that's over.
stabilize. Yeah. This is where I would expect to see some swaps coming in from Red Team, because their comp is so heavily reliant on DPS picks that, you know, even right now where they get a couple picks and
Oh
they
my
use, like,
goodness,
Graviton,
Fume is just getting destroyed by Chris.
Chris is really managing this with a duo well, and he's really stepping up to the plate right now. You can see he's on fire, just like Skullduggery, but Chris really stepping up to the challenge here.
I mean,
really
I gotta say, Skull, that was really well played by Skull. He killed like 2 people, then Trance, then killed another. Now he killed Chris. You know, even though he's kind of staggered now, he's still just, look at this. He just used Transcendence, and he's 70%.
Yes, whereas Kate used hers in the last fight as well. Maybe 10 seconds after Skulldugger, but still, double ultimate difference there. Scene is swapping over to another hero, Ashy.
Interesting.
So we have double sniper going on again. A lot of long range damage, but it might be very hard to actually secure the points here.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. You have to move on to the point, right? And you know, with these heroes, they're just gonna hang in the back. They're not gonna contest the point. So I don't think that's the right call.
Could be, but one thing is for certain though, we're expecting some double snipers in the back, but there's one person that's going to be on point, and I hope it's going to be Bob. I have a lot of faith in the guy. Bob is a really good player.
Oh, that's
you're gonna find Skulldugger, crucial click on the right click there.
But you know, that was a bit too brave. You know, he was just alone in front, just looking for a cheeky pick. But you know, Bo was ready.
And Cresta takes down Zenith, and now Fume finally gets that one pick.
Finally gets the headshot. Like he's like, okay, now it's my time.
Yes, but truth be told, once you're 2-man down on like a point,
you can't push. You can't.
Like getting that kill is nice, but it doesn't end up in an actual push.
Yeah.
It's a bit unfortunate there, but in
like you just get some ult charge, but it doesn't really change anything. And again, there you go. Chris just left spawn, and Fume is punishing him again.
Yeah. But one thing I really like here, though, from blue team, they have both the Graviton at some point and the Mail, and the Zenyatta ult can only really counter one. But as I say, that Boyer falls, and now the only ultimate they had really is not online. This is their time to push. They got Chris down earlier, and they got another pick now. Scene is getting the pick. The Transcendence comes in for Skulldugger. He's going aggressive on point. Skulldugger wants people to go on point, and their call's being made. Dustleaf charges in, the Mail comes in, and ooh, the run is a bit simple now. Nanoboost comes in, nice fire strike.
Oh man,
that kills right there. The team bubble comes in, and it's only Krill on point now. Who will hold him?
And Fume
gets popping off in the backline, and in the meantime, the Graviton gets thrown out, but there's no follow up. And Bob is gonna come in soon, maybe? No, not yet. 60%.
Nah, I think that's gonna be it.
Boyer touching, get the recall, and now Dustleaf presses charging back, but he misses the point.
What a charge! Okay, Crew with the Hammond, I like it.
He likes it, and Chris Creek gets a crucial pick on the scene as Devious finds him, no DPS online anymore. And then Shadow comes back onto Devious.
Oh, that's Leo with
the DPS are out of the way for the red team.
Okay,
no,
with
it will not.
I think they held it, but you know, 2 picks. Picks came through.
But what must be said, it was very crucial that blue team recognized that the DPS were very important for Team Red. And you know, once you get 2 ticks and then you lose both your DPS, you lose your punching power. And that's exactly what happened here. You get 2 DPS down, you start stalling it out, and then there's not much you can do.
But you know, gotta say, Fume is getting back really nicely, because this attack was kinda on the back of him, like, Skullduggery initiated everything with the trance. It allowed that everybody converged on the point, and then Fume just got some easy kills on the blue team.
Has all the space in the world on the high ground, nothing to resist him. But in the meantime,
but that's
Fume,
mean.
And Boyer
Huge play by Bo.
Stagger. We're in 1 fight now.
And look, you know what? This is just so crucial. You only have 40 seconds left. That Zen will be back when you have 20 seconds left, and you also block his Transcendence gain. Like maybe he would just maybe he would be around 60%.
Fume on 1 HP in the meantime, just gets healed up, but They trade.
Oh, but
okay,
Skullduggery, there you go. He revenges himself.
Chris Creek finds Skullduggery, and in the meantime, all those picks are in the favor of blue team. They
Yeah,
have
definitely.
mobility on Tracer, and you know, we're 14 seconds to go, 10 seconds almost, and well, Cake takes them Dustleo, and his Nano Boost is right getting on point now, but Chris finds all the picks, and the Pulse Bomb comes in. This is a hold for blue team, definitely. 6-pack attack, turning it around. Alright, Devious going in. They get the kills, yeah. Still a good attack, really, by red team, I must say. But kind of problematic, because they rely so heavily on their DPS that they only really got one really solid good attack in, or maybe two.
I agree.
And you know, in 4 minutes of attacking point B, you want to have at least like more than 2 good team
I
fights.
think they only got like a couple of attack, like a full 6-man attacks, because all the time somebody get picked. Like it was either Bo killing somebody on May, or it was Chris getting a headshot on Widow, and you know just making the team 1 just standing and waiting till they 6 again.
And you know, when you don't really get a full regroup, it's going to be very rough.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, it's also like demoralizing.
Yeah, the mental factor is always at stake. Both teams haven't had the greatest of series yet. Both teams have lost a series on the tiebreaker map King and Hill, which is just not really the greatest feeling. And then you get into this map, and then it's a case of mental fortitude indeed. Who is the most resilient in that? And as we know,
that's true.
A lot of very much PMA people on what's it called? On Team 6 pack. Because as you can see, you have Krill there, you have Cake, always very positive people. Picking up the shot calling a bit, and you know, I think they're all sticking together really well. They know each other quite well.
So far, you know, they just going through this. You know, they lost some games, but you know, I mean, from the way they play, it seems like they still focus. They still like want to win, and they not like throw in the towel and are like, you know, like let's just play. Maybe we're gonna win something. They just still coherent. They still focus, and I liked it.
They still play together. It's very nice to see. Let's see if they can continue with. This time, it will be on their defense, and you know, have a decent amount of progress on point 2, but you can't really give up point 2 entirely, of course. If what's it called? If the red team now gets to push both points, right, or if they defend very well, it can be pretty rough. And you know, if a few more Zeniths suddenly start popping off, and if the Doomblitz can just go into the choke and get the damage in, it can be anyone's game again.
I mean, these are just like the X factors. Like if the Doomfist pops off, if Fumes pops off,
indeed,
it's gonna be the same story for Team Blue. Like there's always gonna be someone who's dead. And you never can go in with 6 people, because as you know, Chris dead. And you just have to kind of back off, you can't really push in.
Skullduggery very low, Cake finds Skullduggery, Summer in the backline meantime. Boyer putting up some, mostly Boyer putting on some damage, and Dustleo gets hacked as Zarya, only half HP.
And there we go, Jet's also half HP, so you know, the blue team's gonna push in now.
Yeah,
that's a huge charge.
Picks coming both ways, but still, that is still blue team's advantage right there with the focus spawn. One thing must be said,
only Dustleo on the point, and he's backing off.
Yeah, but he can't really do anything else. He's on 50 HP. Like, what would you like to do? I mean, Diana's healing him, but he's taking so much damage. Boyer continuing to wreak havoc in the backline.
Yeah.
Killing Fume, killing Cake, and all the damage pops up.
Yeah, that's a pretty clean fight. Like, even though Chris got picked immediately, Cake equalized it by killing Skull. And it just was a sign for the blue team to move in. And we see a Symmetra.
Yeah, they're teleporting. Interesting strategy. Let's see how they end up executing. I like Symmetra as in like the new hero Symmetra, or like the new abilities. It's really fun to play around the team mechanic teleporter. Curious to see how it plays out. One thing must be said though, Plotsky and Skullduggery, they will be a bit safer here because they no longer have to push into maps. They can just lay back a bit. But with that being said, Boyer is close to that EMP. Fume finds it's a good pick because that gives you time for your Symmetra to set up. And once all those turrets are set up, it's very hard to push this with a Reinhardt. I'm wondering if they'll end up sticking to this comp, or whether they might swap with things. We know Chris likes the Reinhardt, but against the Symmetra, against the Zen, against the Ana,
yeah, rough. Damn, that might be rough, especially with those turrets that slow you down. It's very frustrating as a Reinhardt. You want to move in, but you can't because you slowed down. 2
turrets practically make you immobile, or if you're shielding, you can't move with 2 turrets on you already. So the effects are very stringing indeed. Team Bell get traded. But in the meantime, like, Crescent can't really push in yet. The wall hacks come out. Flossy getting kind of low, but Zenith takes down Boyer with the Symmetra, making the pick work. And now they're pushing in. Going in. We're going in deep, boys. Krill finds Skullduggery, and the Reinhardt battles all the way on the side, but it gets one eventually by Jet.
There's no healing for the red team.
Indeed. But still, I think this is red team's favor because they get the picks, and it's 1-for-1, but a much closer spawn. Jet has to hold up a shield and try to sustain as long as he can. He's about full HP, but it's only Krill on the point. If Jet can just sustain, it's fine. Yes. You know, Krill resets, but I would say that's a good fight because you only invest the Widowmaker sidelines on the red team, and you do manage to win it out. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but look what's happening. It's a big 6 for the blue team, the 6-pack with the 6 ultimate.
And you know, like the thing is, I would like to see the EMP used on both the Zen and the Symmetra here, because that deletes both of their shields, and it makes sure that you can trans or teleport out of the Graviton. Because do remember, teleporter is one of the few things that can get you out of a Graviton.
Oh,
you can use it on everyone. Yes, you can teleport out of Gravitons, and if there's 6 people in the Grav and they all press that teleport button, they're suddenly gone. Let's see if we can make it happen, boys.
It's a very, very cheeky play, but you know, if you're not careful, that's what's gonna happen to you.
It is, but then again, red team, if they get the follow-up quickly, if they make sure the teleporter doesn't, like, if the teleporter gets killed in the animation, it doesn't work, of course. And on top of that, if it gets hacked or EMP'd, it doesn't function, so let's see how it plays out. EMP comes in, big shatter here, and the world, 2 tanks
oh my goodness.
1-1 trades, Fume finds one crucial pick on Boyard though, that's really important.
Yeah, but there are no tanks on the red team though.
No tanks, but Skullduggery was out of the EMP and managed to Transcendence on point. They're 1 down, but they managed to
very nice EMP.
The nano boost on Zenith, they want to teleport out, as you can see, but the teleporter, oh, the kills fallen.
They still managed to get Skull.
Yeah, Zenith's teleports out, but it's not enough. The Grafton has a big shatter, both tankles to turn it around. Red team managed to stabilize without giving up a tick. Hacked Reinhardt Jet, but still, red team has a hold of this. The Zarya is still on point with Ana healing, but still, blue team's got a lot of presence on point. Dustleo just managing to hold it with that Ana and all the healing. He's managing to stall for now, finds Cake. Coming back on the room is this Fume. They're dealing with it. They're stabilizing, not giving up a tick. And they found Boyard invisible as well.
Yeah, and this is huge, not giving up a tick. It looked very dicey for a second, but they stay. I mean, the Transcendence from Skull kept the like contest going, and it allowed for people to come back and just contest even longer. And eventually, the blue team didn't even get a tick. A huge win for it.
A big shout out to Dustleo as well, because he lands the Graviton, and then on top of that, Tosky lands the Anti-Nade, which got them 2 kills on both the tanks from blue team. And after that, he managed to stall by himself on point, but he had on healing, but he managed to stall until the kills came in, and then Doofus came back and get the 2 kills. Really good plays there on the Zarya by Dustleo, getting Graviton and getting the stall going. Really nicely played. Fume back on the Widowmaker in the duels with Chris. Wins the first one. And Skullduggery takes on Boyard. No DPS.
Yeah, no DPS, they have to, but they move in.
Yes. But we're in a very similar situation as we were with Team 1 on the Red Team. No Lucio means you can't really move through chokes effectively, and it means that you have to wait very long for a good regroup. And Red Team is tasting this, they're getting the advantage going. You say what you will about a comp without Lucio, if you're playing on defense, having the Moira Zen or an Ana Zen, you can sit back, but you don't have to go anywhere really, as long as you can stay.
But on attack, but on attack you need that speed, man.
True, but like as we said, it didn't work too well for Team 1, 2 immobile supports on attack, but on defense they're stabilizing very well, and in a very similar way, the blue team now doesn't have any Lucian. It takes very long to regroup. EMP comes in though. Dustley is always going to fall, Chris is also going to fall. Transcendence comes out, both support ults, and then EMP use. Chris finds the duel there. Skullduggery is going to fall soon, will he have
this is a team kill.
Skullduggery did not use Transcendence, he was the last one alive. And it seems like 6-pack will win the first map here, yes.
Yeah.
1-0 up here.
Very, very convincing attack. Like it was kind of grueling, kind of painful. They couldn't really orchestrate a coherent attack, but finally they did. Yes. Oh, and Cake with the play of the game, show me.
Let's have a look at Cake here.
You waiting?
Waiting. Team going. There comes the EMP. Starts to the team up. Gets a Discord here. This was the decisive push, getting all the kills, having the ultimate advantage. And with that EMP, there were a lot of ultimates online for blue team, but they couldn't use it because they were hacked and all clumped up.
Yeah.
Really nicely played.
And this is what Sombra brings you on 2CP, this just disabling all of the abilities. It's just so huge, you're so defenseless for these couple of seconds, and with a hard push like this, you're just gonna get killed, and that's what happened.
Indeed. In a few minutes we'll be moving on to our next map, which will be Pillowed, and that is 6-pack attacks map. But in the meantime, as we can see, Team 1 has changed all their icons to Dallas Fuel. How do you feel about this, Scruty?
Oh man, I think, wait.
Oh, the Outlaws are coming out. Oh. The battle for Texas, let's go.
Yeah, I like this. I like some rival.
Yes.
Just duking it out for Texas, man.
Indeed. Boyard is on the toilet and will only get a second passport from Chinese to American in just a few minutes when he's back from the toilet, but I'm sure he will oblige. Yes, I'm wondering what type of payload map, what payload map would you expect the 6-pack attack to pick in this one?
Wait, which one did they picked Rialto during their first? Yeah.
Indeed.
I don't know. Maybe they want to stick with it, even though they lost pretty badly on Rialto, if I remember correctly. I don't know if they want to repeat that feeling, even near that map, because it's just like this bad association. Like, hey, we get pretty destroyed on Rialto. Maybe let's try something else.
It's almost like a trauma, but in a sense as well. They lost on Rialto against the team that's completely undefeated. So far, not a single map drop. So you can maybe take a step back and say, well, the team that we lost Rialto against, they won every single map. So maybe it wasn't us playing it poorly. Maybe that team is just a bit stronger. Maybe we've got a more elaborate strategy this time. They might just pick Rialto.
I mean, it's there you go. It's Rialto. So I like it. You know what? I like it because it's the confidence. Like, they confident in themselves that okay, maybe we lost Rialto, but look, we have this plan. Let's stick to the plan. And I like it. No on the fly adjustments. Just sticking to what you're good at.
Indeed. And what I also like, Crested as favorite Reinhardt today, and Rialto is one of those few maps which doesn't really have as much high ground. They would need to dive with a hero like Winston. So being on Rialto means Crested can play Reinhardt, which is his comfort pick, which he's been doing very well on for probably a majority of the map at least. If you're playing a map like Dorado or Junkertown, you have to swap the different heroes. But Rialto, you can just play Reinhardt. That's no problem. Seems like we should be.
Also, it invites Chris to play Widow again. Devious maybe is gonna come back to his comfort pick, which was Soldier. Though he did pretty well on Moira, because he played Moira on at least some point.
On Hanamura, he played just on Hanamura when Bo was playing Mei. DPS. All right.
I mean, Mei wouldn't really be that good on Rialto, but Bo showed us his how flexible he is. He played Doomfist, he played Pharah, he played Mei, Sombra, and he does it. All of this was at a very high level. Like, he was contributing big time.
Yes, he was consistently performing well. So big shout out there. Really well done.
Yeah, definitely. Flex players all the way. And I wonder what he's gonna play now. Like, do you see Devious picking Brig? So will they go with just Brig and Moira just double support and Brig as an off support? Interesting.
Could be interesting, but I'm curious to see. You could also play a 3-1 strategy where you have 3 supports, 2 tanks, and then your Brig can really help out your 1 DPS, but it puts a lot of pressure on this DPS. In the meantime, though, Skullduggery on the Bastion. Is it for real, or are we joking?
I think we joking.
I think we joking, but you never know on first point. Suzu played it on first point famously today.
Yeah, very effective.
Getting 3 kills. But talking about Mei, let's say you're playing against Bastion and Torbjorn. Mei is so handy then because you can wall up the Bastion away from shields, and the wall also disables the turret, so it forces them to play split, which is not per se what they're good at. But we're going to see some switches. Although someone else.
Yeah, but you know what? With that Mei, it's obviously a very valid strategy, but I think not a lot of people who flex are comfortable enough to do it because your timing has to be great. Your aim with the wall that is pretty wonky, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like the wall works. You have to be very confident in that because if you mess the wall, it's gonna be. There you go. There's Zenith on Bastion.
They're doing it. They have a Reinhardt and a Zarya in front of protected, and they have the Ana and the Zen, so Transcendence and a Nanoboost at some point coming up, part to dislodge.
Yeah.
In the meantime, the Bow on a Tracer will maybe try to dislodge things a bit. Zenith is set up on the Bastion up front, but there's no shield for him right now.
Yeah, there's no shield.
But Brig is alone. Devious on the right side, completely cut out, and the Bastion just melts the Brig. In the meantime, they start pushing, they start pushing the Bastion, and he eventually falls.
But there you go, Chris.
Yes, Chris gets 2 kills, Crow gets 1, and Bo cleans 1 up, so they do manage to stabilize, but Devious was really cut out there, and his team really had to step up to the plate there in order to stabilize it. I think Blue Team is feeling quite well, because they didn't have the first map pick that was on Team 1, and they won the map that wasn't even their map pick, and now they get onto, their match point, if you will. If they win this map, they win the series.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's also your map picks, you really have things in your own hand there. If you switches to the Tracer, no longer feeling Widowmaker, Zen is sticking to the Bastion for now.
And look at this, we're gonna bob very soon, and Crew's already 60% on the grab. That's very nice.
Did a lot of work there. Bastion set up on the card, but there's no real shield in front of him yet. But they're not focusing down too badly. Now this part's coming in. Bob is gonna do something. He's gonna shoot the Bastion. Chris Craig, together with his buddy Bob, takes down the Bastion. But some trades both way. Okay,
that's very convincing. And the Zen is gonna get staggered now.
True, that's risky, but Red Team did get 2 kills onto the blue team, so they might just get a bit of an extra chance. But Skulldog really has to make sure he doesn't stagger too much here. He finds Boyard as well. Huge picks here. Gets the last pick in the normal teamfight and the stagger onto Boyard. Manages to stay alive.
But this is why I love Zen, because he was definitely at this. Oh my goodness!
Yes,
but this is not a good play.
No, he wants to go back to the team, but this is clear shatter. Can the charge land? Crested, bubble wears out. Yes, a lot of damage.
But Cake keeps him. Oh, he died anyway.
Yes, the stun does land low, and now the nano boost. Krill is in close quarters, but he might have to grab it.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Leo falls. The pulse bomb comes in. Leo blocks a bit of it. Good job there. Sorry, Robert. Devious stuns in. Fume wins duel against Boyard. Stepping up to the plate with the DPS flick, and Devious caught out, flanked from behind with flash.
Yeah, huge flank. That's a 3-player flank.
In the meantime, though, Krill on the backline, still on payload, managed to contest and managed to separate the Ana from her team. Eventually finds Jet as well, because Ana can't heal her team, which is being pressured that badly. Only Boyard and Ana on the payload now. Boyard used that recall. Keep going. But in the meantime, Zenith is taking the high ground.
Yeah, Zenith on the high ground. Like, you have to deal with that somehow.
Yes, someone is gonna get up to contest.
There you go. Zenith just
doing work. It was a long flank, but he got 3 kills in the process. Chris Creek, though, comes back and kills Fume after stun from Davis. Good plays right there. In the meantime, red team is pushing the payload, but there will be one last contest. High noon from Zenith from behind. That's clutch, but he gets stunned out of it, or he cancelled it. But still, a trade. Chris Creek falls and Zenith falls, but it's still in the favor of the defending team. A big shatter coming in from Crested. That's a 4-man. Gets the follow. 3 kills from Crested already, and only Jet survives for now.
My gosh, they were so close, and it looked like, okay, we got this. We killed Chris, we killed like somebody else. Easy, and then Crested just charges in and immediate shatter. Holy smokes.
Rialto is a map that is so, favorable to defenders, especially on first point. It's not uncommon to see 3 teamfights happening on this map, and this is one such occasion. Just barely touching the point at 3.5 meters, coming in with a clutch shatter, charging straight out of spawn, because it's one straight line, remember? You don't have to walk too much, you don't have to worry about turning around too much, you just charge back and instantly hit that Q button. And lining that 4-man shatter, that just sealed the deal. In the meantime, though, Leo is swapped over from his Zarya to the D.Va. Looking for a bit more flexibility. Maybe Bob is going to be online again, but let's be real here. There's this Transcendence online and a shadow from Jet. Bob is coming in. There goes Bob indeed. Overwatch gets used on Bob, a very crucial player. They start pushing it through, but Zenith gets taken down. Fume takes down Boyard though. Will the shadow land? Nice knockdown. Oh, that was crucial. Leo on the D.Va knocks away the Reinhardt, and that opens up the 2-man shadow for Jet. Fume gets nano, but looking to farm that blade up. Crested though takes down Jet.
Crested gets cancelled. The shadow gets cancelled by Fume. And
Krill does take down Pluxy. Not a lot of healing resources online anymore. Leo gets taken out of the mech, and it's looking pretty rough.
Krill is gonna have...
and Fume also gets cancelled. Skulldugger with 1 pick, but it's not going to be enough. Zenith's coming back. Leo comes back. A lot of picks, but Chris doing work, getting 2 kills there at the end, and then only the Reinhardt's coming back from the attacker spawn. It's too long. A full hold will happen. Alright. So, blue team, they're stepping up to the plate. They only need to cap the first point, really. They managed to hold it 3.5 meters. And, this is not really anyone's game anymore. It's definitely in the favor of blue team now. If they win it here, they just kept the 1 point.
It's theirs to win. But, this is on the back of some huge plays. Huge plays from Crested, huge plays from Devious, from Bo, Cake, consistent heals. And man, I'm just impressed all around by this group. Krill just staying alive and just, bubbling people, being a factor all the time. I'm just impressed that they just didn't break, They lost 2 matches, and here they are just playing their best so far.
Playing their hearts out, really. Really nice that they managed to, just stay together, but also just continue to play well as a team, which is always very nice to see that they still got their focus on. They're still all together in it, and I like seeing that. In the meantime, let's see if red team can maybe pull off a clutch hold, because you do know, like we said, this map is very well defendable, especially point A, and they got all the way to the end of the checkpoint, really, so it's not at all impossible that they'll manage to hold.
Oh, and apparently they bank in everything on double sniper. Very impressive.
They're going for their DPS clutch picks again, and you still have Jet on the Reinhardt, you have Leo who can stall a long time with the D.Va, and looking at Moira and Dunn, decently good support for stalling things out. Okay, Leo swapping back to the Zarya. They're running back for spawn, using the right click there just to get back a bit quicker.
Still, it's gonna be interesting to see how oppressive the double sniper lineup is gonna be for the blue team, because you know how it is to play against double sniper. It feels like there's nowhere you can go, because there's always a sight line.
Indeed. But it does, on the other hand, also put a lot of pressure on those 2 snipers. If they don't end up landing the kills, then the other team might just very well Some damage gets traded back and forth, some abilities. Bubble comes on the Reinhardt here.
That's true.
Watch out, gets Chris
and there you go.
and Skull with Chris Creek stepping up to the plate, but
And
finally Fume
Fume
dislodges Chris, but then Bo finds Fume. Both DPS down, and Krill takes down that.
But this is a 5-2 right now.
A hard reset. Plus gets taken down as well, and then it's only Dust Leo alive on the Zarya. Can't do too much about it. One last team fight at the end maybe, but truth be told, Boyard with the armor pack, playing quite aggressively, already 50% on the EMP. And if we look at some switches coming in on DPS from Red Team, but no, that Summer against the Doomfist might be pretty rough, especially if you have no ultimate. Jet is going to be the determining factor. And oh, Krill takes down Fume already. Was he hacked? Jet has to land a big shatter soon. He's on 85%. He gets the ball, but he needs some heals. Chris will take down Skullduggery. Can he get it in time? He's so low. He's 95. He's just trying to stay alive. He's trying to stall here. Pin lands.
He's there. Come on, Shatter.
Gets a shatter, gets 2 free man in the back. This is a good one. But Boyard manages to lift the
Moira's ultimate. Huge Moira ultimate.
Yes, but Jet does take down Chris Creek one thread of the way, but still the kills are coming in for blue team. In the meantime, though, Devious trying to push up. Big shatter lands. EMP lands. Fume goes down. There's only supports that are alive now, and that's the end of the series. So 6 back attack will win this map.
Man, you know what I gotta say? I think it all changed for the blue team when Bo started flexing on DPS.
That was a good move indeed.
When he started playing DPS, you know, all of a sudden this is a whole different team.
And do you know, the first map they played, did they play against a team that was previously, that is still undefeated for now, but yeah, Bo was definitely doing very well on the DPSer. Chris here with the nice picks, and nice follow by Boyard at the end on the Ana. I like seeing that. Right.
Man, I'm just impressed by Cake, just consistently huge healing numbers.
Yeah, she's doing very well, on both on Moira and on heroes like Zenyatta as well. She continues to contribute massively to the team, as you said.
Yeah, like, you know, I love such players, like they're not in the limelight, in the spotlight, but they just do their job, you know?
That's definitely true.
And this is all you need from a player, you know, just do their job and everything's gonna be fine.
Especially if you have some other people like Bo who might be, what's it called? That might be a bit flexible. Like if you have someone like Bo that can maybe like just bring a little bit extra, just having like a very consistent performance line of support really helps out greatly, I must say. All right, so we've got all the matches for Team 1 and for Team 6 back attack and Team 1 have all been finished. It means that the third place final will be between 6 back attack and Team 1, but it does mean that in the third place finals, 6 back attack will have the first map pick. So we'll see how that pans out. Right, so we'll be awaiting. I think we can leave this lobby, but they can stay in the lobby.
Okay.
So these two teams, they will be playing the third place final against each other.
Yeah, and we're gonna move on to the final. Yeah,
that is true.
Ooh. Man, that's some turnaround.
Yeah, well, hopefully Ram's gonna help these guys out set up the lobby. Alright, so let's see if we can get Lady Rams in line to help these folks out. And I'm wondering what the result was in the other match, because I haven't heard much about it yet. Just looking for some things.
You mean ladies match?
The one that she was in, yeah, that was Team 4 versus Team 3.
The one that's going on now with
Is it still going on?
Yeah.
I think we're just gonna head into the lobby, maybe.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. We're gonna cast it. I'm feeling it, boys. Feel free to invite us, Gadget, once you're in. Okay, I can follow Tamar, probably. Okay, I am in, boys. Scruty, you're gonna get the invite as well. I'm sure you'll love it. And we're on Rialto, the second map.
Love it. Oh, Rialto again.
And we see the strong pig on the Bastion. Interesting.
Okay. Oh my goodness, look at how far they have to push. That's just very close.
Yeah, the spawn trap must have worked. So, okay, let's see how things go.
Oh man, that's a tall task for the red team.
Indeed, definitely true. Things looking very rough.
Oh man, and Piggy just shredding. Okay.
Alright. I'm curious what the score is now.
I couldn't even change titles of team. What the fuck?
Unlucky.
Oh, it's 1-1, so we move into King of the Hill.
We move into King Hill, and that does mean that even though what's it called? Six Pack Tech won their series, 2-0. That does mean that there's only one possibility to go for the first and second place, which will be these two teams due to map differential in series 1. All right, so we go into King of the Hill, which is a very exciting game mode once again. Show Ashy and Bob going for the 2-1 victory once again for the first time in 3 games on the tiebreaker map. I'm feeling it.
Hey, but still, already Tracer, they finally lost the map.
That is most definitely true. They're no longer undefeated. That's something that you can write home about if you're Show Ashy and Bob.
Hey, I like the Tracer themed icons. Like, there's every icon's different, but it's still Tracer. Oh man, so we're just in time for the big showdown on King of the Hill. That's great. And apparently, you know, already Tracer just got demolished on the Rialto map because
that might play a part in there.
Oh, choose map.
Choose a map. Yes, that's definitely true.
So which one?
I'm feeling Oasis this time, bro.
Oh man, definitely. Let's do
Different high ground maps. Let's go for it.
You know what? I love Oasis. I think Oasis is a cool map. Like, at first, I just disliked it a lot, but then...
Same.
I think it's like with a lot of maps from that are new. Like, initially, you're like, nah, this map is meh. But then you kind of, you know, play on it, and it turns out it's a pretty cool map.
Yes, I remember, I think, like, Oasis was released, like, around Season 3, like, literally, like, about 10 seasons ago. And I just remember, like, why is there like a trampoline jump pad like a map? Like it's so silly. And now these days, like I like the city center where you have like the tower in the middle with the high grounds around it. That's pretty interesting. And you know, University has got like similar things to Ilios as well, but then you don't get killed if you get dragged in. And then you have like the other map, the garden map, where you can play some Reinhardt competition. But there's also high ground on point. So, like you said, like throughout the time, you just start enjoying it more. So, interesting to see what we'll end up playing here. Alright, let's see.
Destiny popped off 1v6.
Nice. Well, you know, maybe bringing this back for Team Destiny on the Doomfist. So we're wondering what he popped off on then. He's on the McCree.
Oh, or is McCree? Yeah, this is a good map for McCree, especially that you can expect a Pharah. So.
Indeed, but this map just being like, being like mid-range is one of the few maps where McCree can still really excel, alongside maps on Ilios where like the range isn't too long and it isn't too close quarters either, so like it's just a perfect setup for McCree, and he can go either on point or on flanks.
And it's curious because we're gonna see Roadhog with Reinhardt, so no Orisa, just Roadhog with Rein. And you know, I still like it. I like to see Roadhog, but you have to be very careful when you play him because you can just end up being an old battery for the enemy team.
And you have to be offer no shielding. Yeah. Because you offer no shielding, you're not really contributing to your Reinhardt either. In the meantime, though. Go for it.
Yeah, and you know, on the enemy team, we're gonna see goats, classic goats. So
classic goats, yeah.
Let's see how Roadhog's gonna work against it.
Yeah.
If he can get some clutch hooks, and just pull some like I don't know, like Moira or Brig, that's gonna be huge.
Yeah, or maybe if you just pull someone into the well in the center. There goes the hook on Reinhardt. T10 IQ plays instantly dislodged, and the charge comes in, no fear on Tomahawk's side, even though it's goats. Nevertheless, just taking a breather, blocking the damage for Reinhardt there.
But he's pretty low.
Going in. Yes, and he's a bit split from his team now, but Nevermind Ice still doing some work in the back line. Nice pin there. Oh! Yes, they managed to get the kill on T10 IQ plays. The Goats comp not working out quite well, and there it is. The hook you were talking about, Nevermind Ice finds the hook onto Sudo and brings him down. And now they're set up on point.
But you know, you made a very good point. Just putting somebody down into what's it called?
The pit, I would call it.
Okay, the pit. You know, you're just removing somebody from a fight.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not like dying in Elo as well, but you're still not in the fight.
Yeah.
And especially with these tank heroes, like, if you hook anything but a D.Va, like, they're out of the fight for a long time.
Exactly,
Ooh,
so you know...
Remax, but instantly gets hooked in again. Stagger and the ult charge is immense. And you know...
Man, this is very... Oh man, yes, what was he doing? That was a bit of
overextension. Very low, but I think he just got the armor pack in time, but then... Destiny, was really pushing up deep. In the meantime, they do find tactical, which means that they have time to get
you know how it is. You know, you're feeling hot. You feel like you can kill everybody, and then you start pushing up, and you know, sometimes you get punished, sometimes you punish.
Yeah. And especially against a ghost style composition, Suzu just swaps to the Ashe right now. But as you can see, if there's like 3 tanks and 3 supports and they speed boost onto you, if you're McCree, you might be in trouble. So a bit eager there on DBS's side. But he has found the high ground now, which means he can get some good damage in from distance. But the T10 IQ takes out Tomahawk.
Down.
And Strongpuggy starts to flank.
Ooh, huge play.
Slapdash gets hooked, but Nevermelt Ice falls. And now comes the Shatter. Tomahawk gets this, but it doesn't matter. It's instantly shattered again. Beat-drop comes in. The high note comes in though. This might be clutch, but the Matrix perfectly placed by.
I mean, Taxel first he just Matrix the whole Fire Barrage, and now he just went in with the Matrix in McCree's face. Very good play by Taxel on D.Va.
And on top of that, on the Fire Barrage, what he did is that he dropped his Matrix when he was in the face with the Fire, because Fire can get damage from flash damage. Indeed, really nice play there by Taxel, and through all that, he managed to maintain his own ultimate. So.
Yeah, very nice. Very impressive. And now Slapdash has Graviton.
With a D.Va Bomb, and then in the meantime, you're gonna get your Bob back, you're gonna get your Shatter back, get some decent rotations here.
Yeah, yes, and I mean, you don't have Zen, you don't have D.Va to eat it, so like Graviton is just gonna look rough.
Walk comes in, will they get some space? What will they do? The grab comes in, free back grab, and the D.Va comes in, but will they manage to find the Reinhardt? There's the Shield line, but it drops just at the end. Ooh, good combination there. The shield was getting low at mid, so. And they find the kills, yes. Nice hold there by Red Team.
And just 2 ultimates, I like it, not getting over eager.
I was about to say, Reinhardt, T10 IQ plays, already almost back on the Shatter. In the meantime, Bob is online for Suzu has Bob online. And we're gonna have the Moira ult again, and we still managed to hold on to the Lucio beat-drop. So, good ultimate there. And I think Suzu is lining up something, because I heard a strange noise coming from Ashe, and I think he wants to send that Bob. But he gets caught up, yes.
Nope. There you go.
Gets 2 kills, yes, doing the work on DPS, and maybe swing this round. Tomahawk picks in, finds T10 IQ plays, is low, but it's healed up for now. Still a lot of stock coming in. 3 picks, Nevermelt Ice doing work on T10 IQ, and there goes Taxel.
Well, but still Nerbot is still just contesting the point.
Just getting in those extra few seconds, it might just pay off. And Taxel gets his Mac back, so if he wants to stall, he can go for it, and he goes for it. But he does get hooked. He loses the mech, but still.
But he's still on the point.
Extra seconds, yes, and then the D.Va Bomb.
And the whole team, and there you go. Oh my gosh.
Shatter. You trade ultimates, and it's still fine. But okay, favorable trade in terms of ultimates there. And on top of that, he stalled for 15 seconds. Red Team really nicely played.
That went for 60% to 86.
Yes, and now we're in this 1-fight territory. If Red Team wins 1 fight, you have
yeah, but they have to win the fight.
Yeah, but then still you have the respawn timers, and then people have to trickle in. Because then you're at 95 already. Makes it look scary, but. The beat drop and Bob
and Shatter.
And there's only support ults and maybe 1 Bob for Destiny, but I think there's just a bit more pushing power.
We're gonna see 2 Bobs. There we go. There's
Bob. He's holding people off. The beat drop comes in. Sorry, Bob comes up, but someone has to touch. It's 3 seconds left. Good Shatter here by T10, but someone has to touch. No one touches.
Oh man!
Everyone was live. They even had an extra pick. That is a classic C9, if you ask me. Very rough for Red Team because they could have won this. They could have turned this around.
I mean, they. Winning this fight, but just nobody was stepped on the point.
Yes, this was their chance, but they just let it slip away. And now we're in an interesting situation because both teams are pretty equally matched. We saw 1-1 in the regular maps already, and then we saw this game up very close. But just giving up one map like this very very detrimental, and we'll see if the Red Team will manage to to persevere and beat the mental stress. But still.
Nevermelt Ice flexing some more and giving us that Hammond.
A lot of mobility and disruption here. I like it. Easy. Yeah. Ooh, a quick pause. But let's look at the team comps for a second. We're gonna see. Yes. Oh, someone DC'd. Okay. Okay. So we have a small disconnect, but we will be back shortly.
Yeah.
And it's it seems.
It's Toma. That Irish internet.
Yeah, Irish internet. I mean, the Irish famine of the 19th century is still rough on the PCs back there.
Yep.
But let's look at the team comp that Team Blue had, because Tomahawk, he is DCing right now, but he was on, what's it called? Oh, was on Reinhardt. But other than that, we see Destiny and Nevermelt Ice going onto the Doomfist and the Hammond respectively.
Yeah.
That is so much crowd control. It's immense. If you're playing a stationary support like Senyatsu or Ana, or you're playing a tank, it's just Hammond's going to boop you around, he's going to pile drive you, then Doomfist is going to come in, he's going to do 3 of the same things. It's very hard to play a stationary hero against this type of comp. And looking at Red Team right now, they have the Goats comp style again, only they don't have Brig, they have an Ashe, but still, 3 tanks, 2 of which are completely immobile. This might be very rough.
I mean, I don't know, because look, they have Moira can just fade from Doom. Nerboss can boop him with Lucio. Suzu can also use the coach gun to get Doomfist away. And so I think they have some tools. It's not like it's Zen and Ana who are just powerless against Doomfist. These are nice supports that can just maybe not like emerge victorious, obviously, but they can just escape
They can fend
from
themselves.
Doomfist.
They can fend off the attackers a bit better.
So I don't know if I like that switch to Doom. I don't think how effective he can be on this map.
We'll see. Like, the map can be close quarters if you fight it out on a point, and there are free tanks for Doomfist to get a lot of ult charge and a lot of shields off of. But it will be interesting to see how he goes into deal with supports. But do keep in mind, if Nevermelt Ice and Yes start playing together quite well, then maybe Suzu can jump away once. But if you have 5 of those cooldowns, you can get a lot of crowd control and damage in. I mean, maybe you can dodge one, then the other one just comes in, and that might be very rough.
Yeah, exactly. But this is just gonna be the interaction between Nevermelt Ice and Yes. They have to coordinate it very well and to just overwhelm the opponents. Like, even if, for instance, Gallia uses the Fade on Moira, because, I don't know, Yes attacked her on Doomfist, there's gonna be Nevermelt Ice to finish the job with Hammond. So, I'm looking forward to see this synergy. And like the coordinated attack, because as you said, when they get into your face, 2 of them, it's just so difficult to do anything. It's even so difficult to help you. Even when Zarya bubbles or whatever, it doesn't really matter because it's just so many abilities, so much damage. It's you're gonna die.
Indeed, it's most definitely true. So will be interesting to see how the interplay pans out. In the meantime, we're also seeing a Fire Mercy from Strong Pig and Pumbunny, which is interesting because it's pretty decent on this map. A lot of high ground they can move behind. And there's like on all of these rooftops, like a little bit of bushes and all that. So you might be able to hide a bit and be a bit sneaky as far. And then it's going to depend on Suzu and Taxel. Will they mitigate the damage from the fire? Will they keep people at bay, or will they maybe get caught out? And that can be risky.
I like Taxel so far. He played pretty well. Diva against Pharah, huge matrixes, very smart. Like denying a lot of damage. And Suzu, if he hits his shots, Strong Pig is gonna have a hard time with the Pharah. But then again, this map offers a lot of cover for Pharah, like a lot of high cover that you can use to advantage. If he can use it properly, then he should be safe for majority of time. Especially that both Taxel and Suzu should be also occupied with the likes of Hammond and Doomfist.
All right. Yes, that's definitely true. In the meantime, God, just on Lucio, it's always handy, you're going to have one Reinhardt, and if you really want to follow the Fire Mercy, the Hammond, and the Doofus, you need a Lucio to speed boost him around, otherwise it just gets very split. And it's always handy to have like a support that can also follow your deep dives around. Well,
do you think they should go Rain or Winston?
I would prefer Winston, honestly, because literally everyone in your team is mobile, but the Reinhardt really, so I would maybe opt for going Winston, then like once you're Hammond and your Doofus are set up on the high ground near the point, or maybe even in the window, like if one of them drops down, and you can just cycle your abilities very well to stall, or you can just literally commit onto a target from the high ground. That's very effective. Especially.
And I think, and also like if you just go Rain against Diva and Zarya, like the enemy Reinhardt is gonna have so much support from the off tank.
Indeed, from 2 off tanks, mind you.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't really match it with your own. Like sure, you have Doomfist and the punches and stuff, but it's not really the same as getting Matrix or bubbled. So I think it would be just better to go with Winston. It just synergizes better with the rest of your team.
All right, yeah, definitely true, I think. And like I said, it's a very fair point. If you're playing a Reinhardt against a Reinhardt that has much more resources, it can be very rough for you because, the Moira and the Lucio are really helping out T10 IQ plays, but do keep in mind, you might get like a bit of Lucio healing and a bit of Mercy healing, but it's not the same as having 2 off tanks and those
definitely
enabling supports.
But yeah, it's gonna be. I'm curious to see because the red team, the Retracer already, they're more like with Rain, Zarya, and Diva. They kind of brawly, They want to get in your face, but then again, the blue team is just gonna be all over the place. Like, how do you like force them to be in one place so you can make the most out of your composition? And I think if the blue team just stays mobile and they keep on like moving and relocating and using all these cool abilities to get away, it's just gonna be tough for like T10 IQ plays to just kind of like, what is he supposed to do? Like there's Hammond here, there's Winston over there, Doomfist is in some other part of the map, and there's like no immediate target in front of you.
Indeed, and there's only one side you can shield as Reinhardt, so...
Yeah, exactly, and... So, I don't know, I guess it's just gonna come down to execution, like which team can impose their style of game. Because, you know, if the red team manages to do that, then the blue team's gonna have to switch. But then again, if the blue team is good with executing all those, you know, crazy mobility moves, then the red team is gonna have to switch because it's just not gonna work.
Definitely true, definitely true. Tomahawk, in the meantime, is back in Discord. He's logging on to Overwatch again, but there's also some small trouble with Destiny in the meantime, so we'll see what we can fix there. Maybe we will see the return of Voidless if needed.
Try now, but he's laying in bed, he says.
I see. Well, see, Destiny's saying that he's not sure if he will make it to the finals if he plays it, so we're going to see how we end up doing that. If we do end up having to reschedule the finals, then of course we can stream a bit of both finals, which would be nice.
Yeah, which would be nice, and obviously it is an option. And so, you know, and I think it's also going to be nice for the third and the fourth team to get some cast time. So, you know,
coverage.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So, you know, we'll see how it develops.
We're on our way. Tomahawk is going onto the Wednesday. He made up. Oh, he's going back to the Reinhardt.
Oh no! Okay, that's very, very interesting.
But in the meantime, Suzu with a triple tank dive coming in from Red Team. Very
triple tank dive and a Sombra. Okay.
Yes. Very low damage, but a lot of sustain. It's very hard to dislodge. It means Red Team takes the high ground. Hammond's on both sides. Tomahawk finds Narabos. It's a crucial pick.
Ooh, yeah, that's a big
cannot
hit.
be moved around now.
And you know, we don't have
Tomahawk
speed
swinging
either.
at the Mercy. Tomahawk takes down Gallia. He's got no fears. He just goes into the high ground. He says, "Well, hi, far Mercy. Let me have a swing at you." But in the meantime, tax on
Hey, but look, scores are down on the blue team.
Both teams now have no support left, so it's really a tanky
battle. Strong piggy's down. It's only. Oh man.
Destiny popping off with Tomahawk though. It seems like blue team is. Yeah, they are turning this around. But fun plays there. The tanks is taking out both backlines. No regards for each other. A slight, what do you call it? Gentleman's agreement on both tank lines to just not bother each other too much and go for something else.
Yeah, let's just, you know, let's kill the flying Mercy. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah, don't bother each other too much. But in the meantime, Tactical decided he's not feeling the hammer. He's going over to the McCree. Wants to do with the far Mercy a bit more. And as there's no deep or Zari bubble online, you know, getting the flashbang on the Hammond could be quite vital.
And also with Doomfist, you know, he can help contain the Doomfist.
Indeed, protecting your supports and your supports protecting you. But in the meantime, the dive
and there you
falls
go, he's the stun. And he has to
never mind,
escape.
Ice falls. But in the meantime, Slapdash does almost lose his mech. He's very low, but he managed to escape now.
But
Tomahawk gets
bunny?
hacked. Yes, Suzu, the second kill for Red Team. They're pushing it in. EMP comes in, Strong Pig takes down Slapdash's mech, but still. Red Team
that's a huge res on Tomahawk.
Huge res, but Pummeling does get punished. The Shatter comes in, doesn't find anything. It finds one, it finds Gallia. Mercy's traded, that's a decent trade. Tomahawk flying in, does get killed. Barrage comes in, Strong Piggy.
Ooh, not
Red
good
Team's got
enough.
this. But in the meantime, Nevermelt Ice going off to yet another hero that we don't see very often, Roadhog. He was last spotted mostly in Season 4 when his hook was still powerful in the threat. But we're seeing the return of him. It's been almost 10 seasons, if you will.
Man, he's coming out of the woods. It's like, it's time for Roadhog to shine again.
Yeah, it's time to shine.
You know, and he's making him work, you know.
Yeah, he's getting the kills, and we saw it on the previous map already that they won. They got a lot of crucial picks on the Goats comp. In the meantime, though, some DPS swap for blue team. We see Strong Piggy on the Summer now. Yes, on the McCree. Gets the high own, but he gets hacked out of it very low.
Man.
But it was Taxel, sorry. Wrong one. But still, Jess does fall, and they do get the first kill, which is a good advantage for Red Team, who already has point control. Slapdash going a bit deep, and Tomahawk committing the Primal Rage, but they kill somebody. Good staggers. And
and the supports are down.
And this will take a very long time to reset. Good fight here, I would say, by Red Team. They use 2 ultimates, which is a decent investment. Primal Rage.
Yeah, and you know, McCree ultimate is nothing really too special, so you just feel okay with like losing it. It's no big deal.
But more importantly, they got a lot of important stagger kills, which means they've now overtaken the blue team in terms of percentage. They still have the beat drop, they still have the support ult, and the EMP Diva Bomb coming up. You know, they might just hold this fight as well. And then you're looking pretty scared, and you're like in the 80% range. And then, well, let's see. There comes the the Ryan gets knocked off, and there comes the Diva Bomb. Finds no one, but still a lot of zoning, and Tomahawk's now isolated on the point.
Yeah, Tomahawk also has waited. He has to.
But still, Nevermind takes out Gallia, main tank for export trades. Nevermind on Titan IQ, and there comes the EMP. Taxel takes on Destiny, and in the meantime, then comes the bait drop from blue team. Nice patience there by gods, waiting for the EMP to be used before the bait drop. But blue team is getting a lot of kills.
Yeah, I gotta say, very nice plays from Gods. He protected himself from the EMP. Then came out with the beat drop, and it enabled the aggression. And they managed to switch the point, flip the point.
True. But one thing must be said: we're at 89% for the red team, and 2 support ults, beat drop and mercy ultimate, or online for red team, so they can push this aggressively. They don't have to fear too much. They can go in, they can get a lot of healing and damage them. No real tank ultimates online yet, but you might just want to push this aggressively, seeing as beat drop was just used by Gods. Let's see what they end up doing. I think the mercy gets cut out or gets hacked even maybe. Is that me? No, that's my bad. Oh yeah, mercy does get hacked, but Gallia, now the hack is over, can finally use her Valkyrie like she wanted to. Still soon to try to hack a bit. Reinhardt's back on point. We're just gonna brawl back to point with 9%.
Tomahawk's a bit alone with just with mercy.
Still,
the EMP's
gets a EMP out. And Stormbringer takes down Nervals. There's no beat drop, and Gallia might have to get this res off. It's 5 seconds to go. The D bomb comes in. Will there be space for res? Yes, the D bomb comes in, and now Gallia flies down.
And Bunny is down. Oh, that's huge.
But Nervals Ice fights Titan IQ, and Strong Piggy falls. It's still anyone's game. Destiny takes down Sue. That's a crucial pick.
Yeah, that's a crucial pick. He had an EP.
Ooh, and Gods can. Ooh, Gallia gets res off on T10 IQ. Gods just didn't have to poop on cooldown anymore. Nice patience by Gallia until the poop was out of the way.
I mean, I gotta say, Gallia reses today, they just so like courageous, she has no fear, like, I'm going in, I'm resing you, and she's pulling them off, man. It's not like she's dying. This
They're on a razor's edge. In the meantime, Titan IQ trying to keep lots playing that Primal Rage.
Oh man, that's a huge play.
Just a touch at the end. And the blade comes over the EMP, but it's the red team who's got this maybe. And the beat drop comes in. Yes, it's 2 kills already. It looks like red team will stabilize this. But in the meantime, Gallia falls. Ooh, Tomahawk loses that shatter. He would like that back. He would like to be on point, but red team will clean this up. 5 kills on them and only 8 for the other side.
The last fight, they set the last fight perfectly. I mean, there was the beat drop, EMP, and blade all used pretty much at the same time. It's just, as a blue team, nothing really you can do, It's just... Either someone makes a hero play and kills a Genji somehow, but then again, he has a barrier on him, so how do you kill him,
And you don't have abilities, you're hacked, like, what can you do? Very well executed by red team.
Very well executed.
And now we're probably abandoning... Oh, Slapdash needs to pause, okay. But now we're abandoning the Reinhardt territory, because this map is very much favorable to dive tanks, so we can already see Tomahawk and Titan IQ both on the Winston.
And I'm pretty sure he's gonna bring out Hammond.
You might just stick to Roadhog. We've seen Tomahawk and Nevermelt Ice as tank duo play that Roadhog and Winston, which isn't very common, but they're making it work. Alright, so Slapdash is back into the lobby. Let's see what he will pick. I'm expecting a more traditional D.Va pick. It's what he's been playing throughout the series a bit more. And Slapdash had some graphic issues, but he's selecting D.Va and he looks handsome as always. So let's see, a lot of mobility here. We see the Genji Sombra with the 2 dive tanks.
There's the Hammond from...
Nevermelt Ice, they're doing it. And Destiny is playing the Ashe again, like they're feeling it. They're feeling that it's disruptive. And
I don't know if I like the Moira from Pun Bunny. I mean, you have a lot of mobility heroes, and will Pun Bunny be able to keep up with just the heroes to heal them?
Indeed, but on the other hand, it's very good for catching aggressive engagement, so it's much dictated by playstyle as well. Let's see here. Just some space being taken by red team, but by blue team, sorry, but red team has the high ground, which is very important. But Taxel goes back deep for the backline and gets punished where Tomahawk was positioned. And that's the first pick to blue team. No one on point yet, but Gallia, once again, with that courageous res, manages to get it off and manages to live the tilt. Taxel already low on HP again. He needs some help from his team, but he falls once again.
Yeah, this is not resable. Slapdash gonna lose his mech,
And Slapdash loses his mech. It looks like blue team will stabilize her. Dive comes in on the backline supports. Nice power drive on 2 people. Follow-up comes in.
Alright.
Destiny, in the meantime, found a final blow on Slapdash, so we're gonna have some decent ult charge. Both tanks on blue team in that 70% reach. Pun Bunny on 70%. Gods on 85% already. Really solid.
Oh, yeah, it's huge. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, there's gonna be tank ultimates, there's gonna be the beat drop. Yeah, and it's looking good for the blue team so far.
Yeah, and they'll be able to stall for a long time with this comp. You have that beat drop going in with the Hammond and the Winston and their ultimates, and then you start getting your Moira like fading away. It's going to be very hard to dislodge. They need a really clean wipe from red team. In the meantime,
and you have Yes on the high ground. He's obviously very talented hitscan player. You need to get him off that high ground. You need to contest him because this is just shooting gallery.
Indeed, and Bob is definitely doing something. Yes sounds out his best friend, everyone's best friend, which is Bob. But red team start out with the opening pick. Suzu got 3 kills in this fight, but Yes takes down the Falcon Gallia. crucial picks here from Yes. He's really turning it around.
Yeah.
Suzu, he got 3 kills, but it might not be enough. 4 kills from Suzu. He's putting the team back 5 kills. Suzu is saying, don't worry guys, I got this. But now Titanaki with the Primal Rage.
Yeah, he's just stalling the point right now.
Yeah, but
The team
blue team is so good at stalling.
Yeah.
Suzu got 5 final blows, but it's not enough. Also, Yes was getting a lot of kills. The beat drop comes in, and the stall continues. Like I said, you have to be very clean in executing this. Let's see what's more
Oh, two blades, let's see.
Yes, blade for blade, but the beat drop comes in for red team. They'll have the advantage. Strumpling. Gods gets cut down through all that.
Oh, there's no healing for the blue team, but the picks come through, and I think the red team's gonna have to regroup.
Yeah, it seems like, especially with that Hammond on on the objective. Even if he gets some kills, he'll just like have 1000 HP. He's gonna roll around for a bit, and maybe like some stray Moira orb as well. He's on 200 HP again. It's very hard to dislodge. And we're at 90% for the blue team. It's going to be very clutch. A lot of it's going to depend on this EMP for Suzy, the only real ultimate they have versus the coalescence from Pump.
Yeah. And Gallia's gonna have probably the Valkyrie during the fight.
And yes, Necro's Eyes goes in deep. A lot of space on the backline now. Nervos is going in deep. He might be in a lot of trouble here, and Gallia is also being pressured.
Here's the EMP.
Comes in, but Gallia falls. No Valkyrie online yet, and Pumpkin then comes out after the EMP with the beat drop. Nervos keeping the Genji busy. Suzu getting the kills, but in the meantime, Pumpkin with the Diva Mech and the Winston Gallia is massive. Will it be enough? Suzu starts getting some damage in, but he's forced to get away, and Slapdash then is the last remaining member. It seems there's only one more left on payload. It's Nervos and Lucian. Gallia is gonna Valkyrie back up to this point, but Nervos is still stalling. He's getting the healing from Gallia. They're trying to stall us out.
Valkyrie.
Suzu's coming back onto the Doomfist, getting a raz off, gets Slapdash again. If he gets the mech back, he gets the mech, but the blade comes out. Taxel doesn't have any ability to do with this. Tomahawk finally takes down Nervos, but still the entire team is back. Gallia is taken down. Taxel's taken down by the Nerfmod Ice Bombs. In the meantime, a D-Bomb comes in from Slapdash, and they gets nothing. Still anyone's game, but still I would say an advantage for blue team, both in spawns and
yeah,
kills.
definitely.
Nerfmod Ice take down Suzu. That's a Doomfist further out of the way. Taxel needs to pop off big with his blade, but he's still in spawn. Suzu in a whole lot of hurt. Tomahawk and Ice start to clean up, and that's the end of the series.
Man, that was a cool game.
Very nice game there.
But you know, the blue team was just so fast. You know, coming back, rotating. You know, just mobility-wise, they were unstoppable.
Yeah, so let's look at this play here by Suzu. Could be interesting to see. What do we have here? It's on the first map. Suzu, okay. Getting a nice shot there in between the lines. Nice medic here. We see it. That was really strong play by the Diva. And then getting a crucial kill on Nerfmod Ice just as he hooks the Zarya. Very important. Alright. Destiny getting a lot of kills, especially on that last map. His plays were amazing.
Yeah, they were, no doubt. So what do we do? Do we actually decide that maybe we should reschedule the finals for some other day?
That is up to a bit of the teams as well, and up to our tournament host as well. So, Gadget, what would you say?
Ask the teams. If both teams are fine with playing tomorrow, we can just play finals tomorrow.
Yes. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Alright, we have some folks in the lobby. Chris Creek's back with Lady Ramsey.
Hello.
Hello, Chris.
Right,
I saw the start of a conversation about maybe delaying the finals.
Yeah, it seems Destiny is having some shoulder issues, so he can't really, we can't really force him to sit down and play. And it would be a shame if we played the grand finals without a proper sub, or at least Destiny having some time.
I also talked with Plusky, and Plusky is okay with doing it later.
Alright, Plusky would be from the third place final, right?
Yeah. So I don't know how my team feels about it. I haven't asked him yet, but I think it won't be a big of a problem. It's only about finding time for it.
Yeah, but it's gonna be rough because it seems like some people are scrimming tomorrow evening, and some people are at work tomorrow evening as well.
Yeah, it won't be this week, I feel.
Yes. So we can't really play tomorrow, it seems.
If anything, what happens is we could even split up the third place match and the first place match.
Yeah, like have it on 2 different days, yeah.
It really depends on like when teams are available.
Yeah, let's suggest grand finals for tomorrow, 7 PM CET, and see if that works for people, because then Slaps will have time to get back from work.
Yeah, let's first check if everyone is okay with it.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
just checking in the lobby with all the players right now.
Yeah.
Right, in the meantime, can we get some contact with Voidless going maybe and see if he would be able to play? Because if Voidless can play right now...
Okay,
that's
Team
a
2
good try.
agrees.
Yeah.
No, not really. Like, Slap is saying that tomorrow's not really good with him.
Okay. So Tomok's saying he can, but would like to take a break. Taking a break now is fine.
Void is already in bed, probably sleeping because he's offline, so can't get in contact with him.
Yes, okay, then we'll not have Voidless. Alright, so let's see here. And you know, that does mean that already Tracer did like end up losing the series, so it's the first time that already Tracer 8 loses the series, but also first time that they actually lose a map, which is
It looks like we might have a third place final after all, because Team 1 and Team 3 are willing to play.
right now. Okay, let's see.
So I mean, I don't know, it's kind of only having one match on a different day, that feels like
a bit like of a drag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree.
So either we do both matches on a different day, or we do both matches today.
I see.
I feel like that's the two options we have. That would mean having a different sub for Destiny then.
Yeah, but that's the point. Voidless is out, so you would need someone different.
Difficult.
Quite a predicament we're in. Alrighty. Let's see. So teams are taking a small break, but we will have to find a proper sub for Destiny, as he won't be able to play anymore, sadly. Let's see. Voidless is not an option indeed, so we're gonna see what else we might have.
We aren't playing third place and final at the same time, or are we?
It's a bit of a mess because we need a sub on the grand finals, and it seems like the third place final is gonna take place now. So.
Okay. Doesn't really seem there's like many DPS players of the higher tiers around. So. Right, so I think we're just gonna like let this 15-minute break subside for a bit, and then if we get a sub by then, we can maybe play. But otherwise, I think we need to reschedule just by default, because otherwise there's just not enough players. Should I tell the third place final to be on hold for now? Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I guess. Like I don't know, unless we just get kind of gadget to play or something.
As the stream, Monkas. Hey.
I'm gonna take a toilet break.
Go for it, Scruty. Yeah, my blessing.
I could ask Crazy, maybe he's online on Battle.net, but I don't know.
We can maybe ask him, I suppose. I mean, he is like a GM DPS player, not of Hitcam, but still. Alrighty, but yeah, you can go ahead and ask Ramsey if Crazy is up for playing, because it would fit the role still. In the meantime, I will also take a short toilet break.
Okay. 1 minute. 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 1 minute kind of it all feels different.